Yo, good morning, my people. Top of the top. Yes, it is Tuesday, September 16th, and I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ because with Him, all things is possible. Top of the top to all my people out there moving. All my kids is out there going to school. Please, kids, arrive there safe. Go straight to school. No skipping. All the parents who are taking the kids to school, please get them there safe, get them there on time, and just be aware of there's other people that's trying to get to where they're going to. So if you're driving, please be patient and get on time so you don't have to rush to where you're going. And if you're not, and you're going to work or coming home from work, just please just be safe out there. I hope everybody's feeling thankful, appreciated, and thankful for seeing another day, and with knowing with Him all things is possible. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Even when I'm up, I'm not up. Sometimes I just want to be in the bed, laying down more, but I can't. I always have business I have to attend to. Peace to everybody. I want to say I appreciate everybody who has been subscribing to the channel. I just woke up this morning and seen that I had 2 new subscribers, so we had 688. My goal is I want to reach 700, even though it's more than that, but y'all helping me to do it. And I appreciate y'all, and I love y'all so much for it, because y'all don't even have to subscribe to me. So I appreciate y'all so much for it. Today, usually it's morning chop ups, but we're gonna be talking about a fighter that passed and didn't see it coming, and it was very shocking. We're celebrating one victory, and then the next day we're hearing a Hall of Fame and a legend has passed, Ricky Hitman Hatton. We're going to get into it about that today. There's no more this week. I'm just going to let you guys know there's no Crawford and Canelo talks. That's quiet as far as over here. Other channels may be continuing to do it. Not over here. We're going to be talking about actually tomorrow anyway, and no, actually today. I'm going to be getting into it about anyway and Shushu. Could that be a possible match for 2026? And then we got Gabriel Fundora, who's fighting this week, so we're going to be on that. So there will not be no more Canelo and Crawford talks, at least for right now. Maybe in the future when we see what they're doing, they will bring it back up. But let's get into it. So for my newcomers, my regulars, everyone, welcome to the No Duck Zone podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to always share the word that this is probably one of the best places to come to, where we keep things respectful, we don't judge, and we keep it real at all times. No sugarcoating. D Free, I see you. I sent you the link, D Free. Wait for my man, D Free to come on. I had an interesting day. Before we even get into it, y'all, I had an interesting day. Not interesting, but yesterday I was able to stop back in the gyms. I told you that was for yesterday. No, I sent the one for the Ricky Hatton one. I know I sent you that one. Not that one. I'm on StreamYard. I'm not on regular YouTube. I sent you the Ricky Hatton one. I believe I sent you for Ricky Hatton and Shushu. I was able to get back in the gym yesterday. Shout out to John's Gym in the Bronx. Who they're having a show on October 11th. So I'll be in the building October 11th. John's Gym in the Bronx. If y'all don't know where that's located, look it up. Also, y'all know coming up this week, it is fight week with my amateurs. Shouts to all my amateurs that'll be competing this week. Manhattan in Brooklyn. Starting with this Friday, there'll be a Church Street boxing gym. And then the very next day, Saturday, they will be in Gleason's boxing gym. Y'all know what it is with those two gems, especially Gleason. Hold on. Hold on, Free. Give me a second. Give me a second. All right. So yeah. Anyway, so it's gonna be it's a lot going on, and plus we got is outside. And hey, shout outs to y'all. I got a couple of interviews I'm working on, so be on the lookout. I got a few people I'm gonna be grabbing. All right, for you can try it now. I got a few people, a few amateurs I'm gonna be grabbing, so just be on the lookout. Shout outs to my man D Hall in the People Show, who he's grabbing one of my amateur girls, Nina. He's grabbing her. I'm glad that that's going on, and that's what we do. We're gonna spread love. We definitely spread love. As the year ends, you're gonna see more and more amateurs on here. A few coaches I'm gonna be grabbing and try to reach out to a few referees and all that. Man, we doing it big over here on No Duck Zone, man. For anybody who doesn't know, for the new subscribers who might want to be able to find me on Instagram, if you put up No Duck Zone on Instagram, it'll come up. But of course, the name is Clarence. But so you put up that on Instagram, on Facebook, it's Clarence McLean. I have a Facebook group, McLean's Promotion. You can look McLean's Promotion up, which that's something that helped me start No Duck Zone. If you look that up, it'll come. It'll all come up on there. So for the people who go, we want to follow you. Yeah, that's where I'm at. So I'm waiting for my brother. On top of the top, though, y'all, man. Y'all just make sure y'all smash the like button. Give me a second. We're gonna get this going. We're gonna get this going in a second. Ah, there he go. Mr. Baldy.
You gotta drive through the toll road. Pikeville is all the way at the top.
Good morning to the freaks.
Mm-hmm. What you say, boy?
I said, man, you need to shave. You need to shave that goddamn the rust off your damn face, man. That's what I said.
I don't know what you talking about. That's that New York smog air got to you early in the morning.
look, look, man. When you get rid of the Santa Claus beard, then you come and you talk to me. What's up, Free?
You might need the bit to protect you from the daggone smoke.
Oh man. Free walking in already starting his shit. Y'all see that? This is what I gotta put up with. His shenanigans. Oh, all right, Free. What's up, man? How you feeling though, brother?
I'm cool.
That's a funny show last night. I enjoyed last night. Y'all always have me cracking up, man. Um, y'all gotta go subscribe to BBO, go subscribe to my brother D Free, man. It's always hilarious sitting and watching them, especially listening to BBO when he's making his jokes about me. That should just be comical. All right, y'all. So we got some bad news that passed through our way. We lost Ricky Hitman Hatton. Um, and we didn't just lose him. I mean, we talking about him dying at 46 years old. I mean, the man's 4 years older than me, which is crazy. A lot of these guys, you don't realize that they're not super old. Sometimes you look at a lot of these guys and think that they might be 10 years older than you, and they're actually not 10 years older than you. B3, what up? Oh, you got B3 to come over here. Thank you, D Free. Nah, shouts to B3, man. Uh-oh, you lost him. Um, I didn't get to read up on a lot of stuff. I was trying to figure out how he passed, but he was just found in his apartment. So they never said how he passed. That's all I got right now. So I can't tell y'all how he passed, and they have to. I guess they got to do what they do to find out how he passed. The only information I got is that he was just found in his apartment, not responding. Um, Ricky Hatton was give
Yeah.
me. It's kind of. Go ahead. You can go ahead and do what you do. Ricky Hatton. In case y'all don't know, he fought a lot of people from Floyd to Manny Pacquiao, uh, Costa Azul, Louis Cazal. Oh man, I can never pronounce Louis' name. Colazo, Louis Colazo. It was so many people that he had been in there with. A lot of people, if you don't remember him from that, y'all probably just remember him from the Floyd and Pacquiao. But he had a deep resume, and he had a couple titles he won. Um, what was your thoughts on this when you heard about this, Free?
I was a little shocked because I didn't know. I heard it when he was doing a recap of the Bud and Canelo, and somebody said it, and I was like, oh, Ricky Hatton. They was like, yeah. I was like, damn, I didn't even know.
Yeah. Um, it was we was like I said, we were celebrating the victory, and then the next day you had to hear this. Um, which it was a shocker to me because when I first looked at my phone, I'm seeing everybody was celebrating Bud, and I'm like, yeah, yeah, and I strolled down and a lot of things on the internet you can't believe because a lot of these dudes they push a lot of stuff that's not true. But when I started strolling, I looked at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages, and I started seeing pro fighters post it. I'm like, oh, this shit real. He really did pass, and they never said what he passed from. What do you remember about Ricky Hitman Hatton? Free.
I remember a short white guy that liked to punch a lot of people in the face and stop people.
Yeah,
I mean, Ricky
and
Hatton didn't look like a typical boxer. He didn't look like a typical boxer. He like a short guy that just liked to be at a bar.
yeah, I didn't know nothing about him, so I'm not gonna even sit here and act like I did, man. I think the first time I glanced at him was against Louis Colazo. And I barely knew who Louis Colazo was. I'm gonna be real with you. Even though he's from Brooklyn, there was a DVD that I saw with him on it. And that's how I figured out or knew who he was. But then after that, I think the next time I actually looked at Ricky was when it was time for the Floyd fight. And I think at that time, if I'm not mistaken, I might be off. I might be a little off. Is that when they started the 20 when he fought Ricky Hatton Floyd? Is that when they started the 24/7, or did they start it before that? I feel like that was the 24/7 time.
I'm not sure. I know it was right around that time. I'm not. I know they started it for Floyd, but I'm not sure if it was for the Ricky Hatton or if it was for the fight before Ricky Hatton. But I know it was started because of Floyd.
Yeah, which I'm gonna do a show on that one day, the 24/7. I'm gonna do a show on that. Um, I think that's necessary to bring that up because it takes us back to the good old HBO days. Salute, Clarence and Puerto Rican co-host. Yeah, BBO, what's up? Um, He was a tough little son of a gun, though, man. Ricky was tough, though, man. Um, Even in that Floyd fight, he gave it his all. But every fight that he had, except for probably the Pacquiao fight, that shit ended. That's what made me question if Pacquiao was on something or damn, did Pacquiao just hit that damn hard? But I was impressed. But he was a tough little son of a gun, man. I mean, you talking about Ricky had to be no more than 5'6". Tough little son of a gun.
He had he was like 5'6", 5'7", 140 pound knockout artist. Every time you saw Ricky had, for the most part, he was knocking somebody out.
Yeah, I guess it came back to him in the Pacquiao fight, huh? I guess it came back. Hey, this is what you get for knocking all these people out. I was surprised in that Pacquiao fight because that fight ended in 2 rounds. I said, God damn it. If anybody paid for this, boy, they're going to be pissed. 2 rounds? You don't want to see that happen. Um, but yeah, if you look at all the opponents, and I don't remember when Ricky stopped fighting. I just remembered after the Pacquiao fight. I'm not saying that was his last fight. I didn't see him anymore. Maybe because I stopped paying attention. But his resume was pretty impressive. But there was a few guys we wanted to see him fight that it never happened. I wanted to know why it never happened. Like I wanted to see Ricky Hatton and Cotto get it on. But I don't know how well that would have went. That probably would have went all bad for Ricky. What do you think would have happened if Cotto and Ricky fought?
I think Cotto would have stopped Ricky. Cotto had an engine that never quit. He would have stopped Ricky. Ricky didn't have no head movement. He didn't have no lateral movement. He just stood right in front of you and threw punches. That played right into what Cotto likes to do.
Yeah. Um, I don't know why. I just always
Well,
thought about it.
Cotto was too big for Ricky too.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was
that's another thing I was gonna say. He was a big guy because what people fail to realize is that I said this before. Your walk around weight and the weight you fight at is two different things. There's not too many fighters that you see that actually fight at the weight they walk around in. There's probably a small portion of people. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna always outweigh your opponent. Like, you're always gonna be 15, 20 pounds heavier than your opponent. And some people go, man, that dude too big for me, man. I'm not risking that. And then you got some people who will risk it. Um, I was surprised to see how much weight that Ricky had to start putting on. Like, after retirement, I mean, shit happens. But when I saw him, I said, what the fuck happened to Ricky? Because he looked like a butterball when we saw him.
he had some of that Prince Ahmed uh, serum
Don't do
after
that.
he
Don't do that. Don't do
when I
that.
saw when I saw Prince, I was like, no, that's not the same Prince that I'm used to seeing dancing coming to the ring. That looked like the Prince that played Fat Albert.
Boy, you ain't. Yeah. That you know what? That's a crazy comparison because they actually about. Well, Prince might be a little shorter than him, but they were both little guys that got pudgy as hell. Hey, along with Marcus Madonna. Did you notice that? Even Madonna, yo, at one time. All three of them. Ain't that crazy? Short guys that got pudgy.
But see, Ricky, I know Ricky probably more so came from drinking. Because, like I said, he was a guy that
Yeah.
he liked to drink. I think the rest of them, they just ate their way to that weight class and they stopped training.
Well, I think for Marcus Madonna, after them two Floyd fights, he was set. He was
Yeah,
set.
yeah. I mean, Marcus Madonna, you gotta think about it. He's Mexican. They like to eat burritos and rice and
Yo,
beans. That
here
stuff
you go, yo.
that
Here
stuff
you
sticks
go.
to you.
Here you go, man. But Ricky, yeah, like you said, he was a beer drinker. I said, well, he might have liked to eat, but yeah, a lot of that. But when I looked at it, I said, well, what the hell happened to Ricky? And then when they said Ricky was coming back, I said, oh hell no. Coming back to what? I said, no, man, you can't be serious. My brother be back. Don't worry, y'all. Oh, there you go. I may be in and out like a robbery. Okay.
I keep pressing the wrong button.
No, it happens. Um, I was reading all the titles that he won. I wrote all of them down too, and that's crazy. Shit. I can't get yo B3. I gotta wait till I go. I gotta wait till you. I have to wait till I'm on the other one to give you a wrench because I can't give you one from here, and that pisses me off. I used to be able to do it when I had my other phone. I'd have been able to give you one from right where I'm at. I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna go live on YouTube, the other one, and then not StreamYard, and then I'll be able to give you it. Cause it sucks that I can't give you it from here, and that kind of pisses me off. That's okay. But for all the youngsters, all the young kids who might not know, um, might want to go look Ricky Hitman Hatton up, and he was despite what you felt about him. Yeah, yeah, B3. I got you when I get on my when I'm off StreamYard. I'm gonna make sure you get wrenched up. Um, but let's be honest, Free. Let's just be honest, right? Because we always felt some kind of way about fighters that came from overseas. But when you looked at fighters that came from overseas, even at that time, from Costa Azul to Kovalek to a lot of fighters, what made Ricky Hatton different? What made him different from the rest of them? Because it was something different about him that separated him from the rest of them. What was that one thing that might have separated him?
He's a short white guy that knocked people out. He was the Irish version of Manny Pacquiao.
Mm, damn, I
They
didn't
they
never look
had that
never
they
look at
had
him.
that similar style. They had that similar style. They would jump in and throw a bunch of shots and jump back out. They had a similar style.
Mm. Yeah, I never looked because I always knew it was something different about him. I said, what makes this little dude different? Because, like I said, we always had this perception of guys that come from overseas, they were okay, but they're not all that cats. I see you. I'm talking, but I see
You said
y'all.
there were two guys that you wish you would have saw Ricky had fight. One of the guys that I wish I would have saw Ricky had fight is Adrian Bono. I would have loved to see Adrian Bono and Ricky had.
Oh man, you know what? I don't want to sound crazy, but in my opinion, depends on what AB we talking about. That probably would have went all wrong for AB. I wasn't expecting Madonna.
I'm talking about
I was expecting
the
Madonna.
100, the
Huh?
140 AB, the 140 AB before he went to 47.
Oh, God darn it. God darn it. Damn you, Free. Damn, I don't know. That AB with a style probably on him. How you think Ricky would have been able to deal with that though? Because that AB was nothing to play with.
I don't know. That's why I wish I would have seen it. Because Ricky Hatton was putting constant pressure on his opponent, and AB liked to play around in the fights at times. So I would have loved to see what would have happened.
Do you think it could have been one of those fights where AB could have been doing great, and then at some point he starts clowning around too much, and Ricky just catches him with something?
Yeah, but see, the thing is, AB never got knocked out. He got knocked down by Madonna a
Yeah.
couple times, but he never been knocked out. And at that time, Adrian Bona, he was a monster before he moved to 47. And so I don't know what would have happened. That's why I said I wish I would have saw it.
Um, Give me somebody else you might have wanted to see Ricky in there with that you thought that hey, this would have been a good one if they would have locked up.
140 pound Danny Garcia.
Come on now. You just sat here and said that damn Cotto was too big. Jesus Christ. Danny? Oh,
I wanted to see how Danny would have did with that pressure that Ricky had would have put on him.
oh yeah. Yeah. You know what? I never thought of that. Ricky Hatton and Danny? Jesus. Oh man. He probably would have forced Danny. He probably would he said AB would have knocked him out. He said he would have knocked Hatton out. Yeah, maybe. Probably could have stopped him. Maybe that A. I know what that AB at 140 was a shiznick to play with. Yeah, he was different. He was definitely different. Um, yeah, but when we think about the career he had, it's kind of hard to. And he's a Hall of Famer, right? I believe. See, you get beanie free in the morning. He said beanie free in the
Yeah,
morning.
Ricky Hatton is a Hall of Famer.
Um, but when you look at the resume and look at the titles he won, even though some of the titles we're not familiar with, because I think a lot of them he won over there where he was at, and then and then he got some over here. But I believe he got some. I wrote a lot of stuff down, but I misplaced it because I had to look it up yesterday because I wanted to be sure. I didn't want to assume I knew what he won, but I knew Ricky had been around. I think his career, as far as not coming in the pros, I think started back in '97. From what I had read, I didn't know he went back that far. So he came in a year after Floyd did, because Floyd came in '96.
Yeah. He was part. That's why a lot of people wanted to see Floyd and Ricky Hatton fight because they was part of the same
So,
the same
so this
era.
was some shit. This was some shit that had been built up. This wasn't no. I'm just calling you out because I'm looking for a payday or because Floyd is the guy. They already had been around. The weight classes might have been different, but they had been around for some years, and they didn't fight until almost 10, 11 years later after making after turning pro. So that made a lot of sense now. After I read that, because I knew when Floyd turned pro, I never knew when Ricky Hatton came in. I said from '97 to '07, I believe that's when they had their fight. I said he was already a 10-year pro.
Yeah, yeah. Ricky Hatton, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, all those guys came in around the same time.
That's a
Shane,
that's that's a
I think
crazy
Shane
class.
Mosley, I think Shane Mosley came in before Floyd. Um, Miguel Cotto was around that time as well.
Yeah, I think Shane came in, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, Free. Are we talking about maybe 3 years early, maybe 3, 4 years early before Floyd came? Like maybe 92, 93?
Yeah, somewhere around there because Shane Mosley is 54 right now. Floyd is 48, so he's 6 years older than Floyd.
Boy, you talk about somebody gaining weight. Look at my man Shane Mosley, boy. my man Shane, my man Shane Dave now out here look like a BBW. Shane eating good
I
out
heard
here.
Shane Mosley about. I heard Shane Mosley about to come back and fight.
You don't mean like come back to fight. Like you talk about like what Tyson and Floyd doing? Because I know you ain't talking about actually competing. Is that what you're trying to tell me, Mr. Free?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, the exhibition is the new boxing industry.
Oh man. I mean, if that's true, hey, good luck. Tay Tay, what's up, my Long Island sister? That's cool. You know what? That's starting to be that's trending now. These type of fights are starting to trend now. Free. I believe we're going to see a lot of that. You're going to start seeing guys who retired that just be like, yeah, I might not come back to fight real competition, but I want to come back and play around with it just a little bit, man. I see it. Mike Tyson is 60 years. Yeah. That shit with Tyson and Floyd, I'm telling you right now, I don't even see that happening. I'm gonna just keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100. And them type of fights, we feed into it. And I know y'all gonna say, well, what you expect us to do with media? But I don't like my man Free said yesterday that it's a lot of shit we can't feed into. Because once we take it and run with it, we make a big deal out of it. And then when it don't happen, now we all mad. We all start crashing out on each other. But that's something right there I mean, if that happens, man, I ain't gonna be too much entertained by that. But when I look at the career that Ricky had, like I said, I wasn't too crazy about fighters that came from overseas because I didn't know much about them. And I didn't know what to think about them. But Ricky, like you said, he could actually knock guys out. I think the guys that he had a problem with was Floyd and Pacquiao. And Pacquiao made quick work of him, 2 rounds. And Floyd, I think it was somewhere in the ninth, 10th round, maybe one of those rounds. He actually got him up out of there. But his resume was pretty damn impressive. He had a nice resume. Um, what do you think it would have been like if we took that same Ricky Hatton from back in that time, from '07, and you take him at the weight he's in? Let's say 35, 43. You take him, you put him in now. What would Ricky Hatton do now, and where do you think he would be ranked with the guys today at 40 or 35?
I think he'll be ranked somewhere in the top five.
Mm. Do you think people, because sometimes these guys, and not just the fighters, sometimes it's the managers or their team, because it's a team thing when you make a decision on who you fighting, right? Or who you want to fight sometime. Do you think people would be quick to fight Ricky, or would they hesitate and say, man, it ain't worth it?
I think Ricky would have been part of the Turkey's brand. He's from overseas. I think
Oh,
Turkey would have
yeah. I
identified
didn't think
Ricky.
about that. I didn't think about that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what would have been crazy? You take Ricky at 40, right? I would have loved to see. Nah, because he probably would have killed. He probably would have dominated. But what if Ricky and say like Shakur going to 40? I would have wanted to see what that looked like. But I don't know. Shakur probably would have. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. Hey, I don't want to. I'm a Shakur guy, but I don't want to be sitting here sounding like I got a banana in my mouth. Because let's just be real. That would have been something different. That would have been different. I can't even say how that one would have went. But I know that Ricky probably would have been a guy that people wouldn't have been too quick to fight. Or for anybody who would have thought he was easy, for me to get to this other guy that I want to get to, let me try to get Ricky Hatton out the way because they think that he's easy. And Ricky was the type of guy that would spoil you your plan. Whatever plan that you had, he would spoil it. So if you thought that, okay, you know what, if all I got to do is get past this guy, and then I can get to the guy I really want to get to. And and we got fighters like that today that will just spoil your plan. Whatever you think is about to happen, it don't happen. And that was always him. But just to see what Ricky would have been like in his 20s, 28 years old, and here today at 40, yeah, it would have been definitely, it definitely would have been big. And like you said, that would have definitely been Turkey's guy. I didn't think of that, especially with the money that these guys are making today. These guys that's making the money they making today, had they would have been making it back then free, 15, 16, 17, 18 years ago, shit. Where my son Dream at, man? That's what I want to know. Where my son Dream at, yo?
Ooh,
What time my son got to be in school? Like 8 o'clock?
he catch he catch the school bus at 7:30.
You let Dream, the most notorious baby, walk in the streets, get on the bus without somebody getting a black eye?
Dream cool when he go to school. Dream, I told you, Dream is a straight A student when he go to school. Him and his sister. It's when they get home is when they ruthless. But when they in school, they straight A students.
I'm
Dream
glad you said
Dream
that.
Dream is like a serial killer. You never know. He was that type of way. When you see him in school, he was always a quiet guy in school. Oh, you know how they be saying, I never knew that he was
Yeah,
a
yeah,
straight A
yeah, yeah,
student.
yeah.
He was smart.
Yeah,
That's how Dream is. That's how
yeah.
Dream. You like I would have never thought that. He was so quiet. He was straight
Listen,
A's, help everybody.
that's like you don't know who you live next door to. You be like, no, I see that man. All he does is go to his mailbox. He sits out on his porch. He minds his business, and you don't even know at nighttime this man going around killing everything in sight. He killing that
That's
nigga.
how Dream is. When Dream is cool, everybody thinks Dream is the sweetest kid in the world. He's nice. He helps out everybody. Y'all don't know when that nigga get home, that nigga is He-Man. He turns into the Incredible Hulk. You don't want to see you when I get angry.
Nah, not he, man. Oh, damn it, man. Not he, man. But yeah, yeah, man. Shouts to my man, Big Dream, man. Shouts to Big Dream. That's my baby boy right there, man. But yeah, like I said, rest in peace to Ricky Hatton. It's sad when these fighters, like I said, and they never said how he died. So I guess either later on this week it'll come out on the passing. Turkey would have gotten Ricky. Wait a minute, he said, hold on. What beat did he say? Turkey would have
Turkey would have got
gotten
Ricky
Ricky
stopped.
stop. Oh
I
yeah.
mean, Ricky had already got stopped on his own. So
Stop.
I mean,
Stop, Free. Stop.
if you think about it, Ricky only got stopped by two people. And that was Floyd and Manny Pacquiao. Everybody else, Ricky was whooping them.
Shit, Manny Pacquiao, correction. Manny Pacquiao slept him. 2 rounds.
Ricky was whooping all of the other big name opponents that was in and around his weight class.
Yeah, because he gave Louis Collazo a boy, god damn it. Louis Collazo, I remember in the interview he was doing, he was like, man, he said that dude was so fast, and there was times I wanted to grab him and shit. It was a little hard to grab his ass. Because he was just so quick when it came to moving around. But yeah, man, I guess after a while when you figure them out, you can get him out of there. But these guys today, I don't think they'd have been able to figure him out. Uh Even at 35 or 40. Like you take somebody like a George Kambosos, man, Ricky would have slept him.
Yeah.
Would have slept him. There's certain guys he would have got up out of there. Um, a Tevin Farmer, I love Tevin. But let's just be real. That would have went all wrong in all kinds of ways. You know what I'm saying? Ricky was better than some of these guys you'll see at those smaller weight classes. He might not have been the best and he might have not been everybody's favorite. One thing for sure, two things for certain, he sure came to fight. He came to fight. Just unfortunately, when he ran into Floyd, he just ran into the better man. People question after that, right? When he fought Pacquiao, man, Pacquiao got to be on something. We ain't never seen him slump nobody like that. We ain't never seen him put nobody out their misery like that. How he just put Ricky out like that, 2 rounds? That's when the question became free, is he on something? Pac-Man's on something. I'm like, man, look, I don't know. I wasn't going to assume. I know that man went in there and he got slept. That's all I
Yeah.
know. Um,
I mean, nobody. I mean, he never popped dirty for a drug test, so it was always that suspicion, but nobody could ever prove it. It was similar to like Barry Bonds. Everybody had a suspicion that Barry Bonds was on it, but Barry Bonds never popped dirty.
I don't understand why people act like you can't just be great at what you do and you can't just have natural power. If you look too damn strong, if you start looking like Superman and Batman combined together, oh, D Free must be on some shit. Like you play football. That's like you cracking people on the football field, and you're not just cracking them free, but you putting them out their damn misery. Or you
No,
scoring touchdowns you move in a certain way on the field that people look and go, this is unbelievable. This guy got to be on something. And you like, why I got to be on something? I've been playing football since I was a child. Why can the hell can I just be good at what I do? Why do y'all have
no.
to assume I'm on PEDs or something?
I had people thought that I was taking supplements. They thought I
But,
was taking supplements
but why they thought that? Why can you just be good at what
because
made them assume that you were on something?
for one, um, my size. I play when I started high school. I was about 5'6", 5'7". and I was
Yeah.
playing middle line. I was playing middle linebacker for the varsity team, and I was a small guy. I mean, I was like 5'7", maybe 5'6", 5'7", but I was like
Yeah.
100. I was like 107 pounds. And then I was the third fastest in the nation. It was Jermaine Lew it was Jermaine I said yeah, Jermaine Lewis, and it was a guy named Rob Dennis that went to school with me. Jermaine Lewis ended up playing for the Baltimore Ravens. If anybody remember the 2000 Baltimore Ravens that won the Super Bowl, Jermaine Lewis was the one that returned that kickoff for a touchdown. He went to
Mm.
school that was right across the street from my high school. It was me, it was Jermaine Lewis, Rob Dennis, and then it was me. Jermaine Lewis was the fastest in the nation. Rob Dennis was the second fastest in the nation, and I was the third fastest in the nation. But they was all bigger than me. I was a small guy, and so I played football, I played basketball, I wrestled, I ran track. So I had people thought that I used to take supplements. I was like, I never took no supplements. I never even lift weights. Like the first time I ever lift weights was my freshman year of high school. And when you're on a football team, they want to see what your max is. They want to know what your leg press max is, your bench press max. They want to know all that. So the first time I ever lift weights was my freshman year of high school, and I bench pressed 225 pounds 10 times. And they were like, "You never lift
Yeah.
weights?" I was like, "I never lift weights. I did push ups and sit ups, but I never lift weights." That was the first time I ever lift weights in my entire life. First time. But
That's
they
crazy.
thought I was on supplements. I was like, I don't take no supplements. I was like, I didn't even know what supplements was. I was oblivious to steroids and supplements and all that. All I ever did was just work. I just ran and I did push ups and sit ups and crunches. I never knew nothing about none of that because I always just practice. I just go to school, did my work, went to practice. That's all I ever did. I never knew about anything else. I went outside, played with my brothers and sisters, and played with my friends in the neighborhood. But I was oblivious to all of those chemical drugs and stuff that people did to get themselves big and in shape. I was one of those kids that paid attention to WWF at the time. It was WWF, and watch cartoons and play football and play basketball. That's all I ever did.
Yeah. 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 Well, it's just amazing how you can't be great at what you do without getting accused of something. And it kind of takes the fun out. It kind of takes the fun out of what you do. I mean, if you're doing something, then yeah, man, you messed your own career up. But if you're not doing something and you're doing everything by the book, it kills it. So if one person who's actually doing it, right, it seemed like they mess it up for everybody because now everybody questions how is he dunking and actually breaking the rim? Can't nobody do that. You got to be on something to just break the rim. You can't just break the rim. Ain't no man strong enough in the world to just break the rim. He broke the rim. He broke the backboard. Nah, this guy's on something. Or he's cracking people on the football field, but he's just not cracking them. He's sending these dudes to the hospital and they're dying after their injuries. And I'm like, what is that? So that mean he on something? Isn't that something that comes with the sport? If you in boxing and you crack a guy or whatever, and the guy happens to, I don't know, pass away after, not maybe not in the ring, but when he gets to the hospital, does that mean that you're on something? Shit
Yeah.
happens. It just takes the to me for you, it just takes the fun out of it.
I mean, it's always going to be that suspicion when you see somebody that you wouldn't think is able to do something, and they do it, and they do it on a consistent basis on a high level. You're gonna be like, hey, are they on something? You're gonna have that suspicion because it's like almost like the supernatural. Because of his size and his height, he shouldn't be able to do what he's doing. So you're gonna automatically think, especially nowadays, you're gonna automatically think that somebody's doing something illegal, or somebody might be doing something illegal because it's like the supernatural. A guy that
Yeah.
size that weight shouldn't be doing what he's doing. It's just like when you see a Hussein Bolt. When Hussein Bolt broke the record the first time, people like, oh damn, he broke the record, and then he broke his own record, and then he broke his own record again. They were like, hold on, this man got to be on something. Ain't no way in the world he running this damn fast.
Yeah, yeah. It's just. Oh man, I'm sorry, y'all. I know y'all like. What did we run into? We were just. It just takes the fun out of it. And the people who stay on the drugs and stay doing what they not supposed to, y'all messing up for the ones who's actually naturally doing it. That's what. This is why I say you're taking the fun out of it too, because then everybody starts to get blamed. But in boxing, especially in boxing, that seems to be just a normal thing for people to be getting on some shit.
I remember when they said Michael Phelps was on something. They were like, man, ain't no way in the world he swim that damn fast. This nigga swim like a fish. But the only thing Michael Phelps ever been on was weed.
I
He
just,
only got busted for smoking weed. He never got
I never
busted for
knew,
anything else.
I never knew swimming fast was against the law. I never knew that.
You
What are
never
you
knew
supposed
what?
to do? Swim? You supposed to swim slow? I never knew swimming fast was
Nah,
against the law.
this dude was breaking records. It was like the way he was swimming, like, but he was also tall. I think Michael Phelps was like 6'5", 6'4", something like that. So he was tall, but this man was super fast in the water. But like I said, the only thing they ever caught him on was marijuana. He smoked marijuana because from the area where he was from Baltimore, Maryland. So
Oh
he
man,
hung
yeah,
around he
yeah, it's
hung
over.
around the urban area. So they caught him smoking weed, but that's the only thing he ever done.
Yeah,
The man had more gold medals than anybody in swimming in the history of the Olympics. I think this man in one Olympic event, this man had I think he had like 7 or 8 gold medals. He won damn near every swimming competition there was to win that year. I forgot what year it was. It was like 2 or 3 Olympics. I mean, like 3 or 4 Olympics ago. This man won every goddamn gold medal in swimming that you can possibly win.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy because, like I just say, it just takes all the fun out of everything, man. You work hard to get the way you at, and then here it is. The questions become is how the hell's every time it's time for him to hit the ball, he's breaking the baseball bats. This guy constantly does this shit. He did it for 20 games straight. He's on something. Like motherfucker, no. Why I gotta be on something? I'm a strong motherfucker. I mean, but it is what it is, man. But
Yeah,
I'm waiting to see what happened, what Ricky had, and what comes up, and for them to just find him dead like that. Uh, his apartment is just crazy.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it could have been a heart attack. It could have been. I mean, he could have. It didn't look like. I mean, they would have said something if it was some signs of him
Yeah,
ODing or anything like that. So I don't know of Ricky Hatton ever doing any recreational drugs. I know that he did drink. But as far as recreational drugs, I don't know of him doing anything like that. But like I said, it could have just been a heart attack, or it could have just been it was his time to go. It could have just been a natural death. He went to sleep and he just never woke up.
and that's sometimes that's scary. And like you said, you hear that he's getting ready to not get back into the boxing that we know, but he's just getting ready to get back into some type of action. So you're like, okay, that's cool. And then you hear this at 46 years old.
And
That's
that like I said, that could have been another reason. He was 46 years old and he got back to training to get his body right to get ready to have an exhibition. And like I said, it could have just been too much for his heart. He could have had a heart attack.
I always look at it because we're in our 40s, and I say to myself, and I was telling Tiffany's recently, I said, shit, especially as a black man, we got to do better because a lot of us we just drop dead every day, and then nobody never knows what's wrong. Never
Yeah.
know what's wrong. Um, You could
I
be
remember.
working next to you could be working next to somebody. Next thing you know, you come into work the next day, yo, such and such died. And you like, how is that possible? Me and him was just fucking talking yesterday. What happened? Somebody killed him? No, man. He was in his kitchen in his house cooking. And then shit, he went to I guess sit down or he just passed out in his kitchen and he never recovered. And you like, what the fuck happened? How's that
I had a
possible?
coworker I had well, not even a coworker. One of my officers passed away a couple of months ago. We went to his funeral or whatever. He was a young guy. He was like 27 years old. But
Damn.
he had real bad asthma, and he was at work. He was supposed to work the next day. He was at work. They said he left work, went to the gym, and he came home, and he must have had an asthma attack, because his mother and family came in and found him laid out on the floor. So they said he must have had an asthma attack.
Oh
Because
man.
he used to have asthma attacks while he was at work. He had one bad one where he ended up having to go to the hospital for a couple of days. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, like I said, he was at work, and then the next day we all having our normal meeting that we have every Monday morning, and that's when we got the word that he passed away. I was like, what? I was like, nah, stop playing. I was like, yeah. They were like, he was at work. He went to the gym, and he came home, and then his mother and them came home, and they found him passed out on the floor, and it was non-responsive. I was like, damn, because I was the one that hired him. I interviewed him and I hired him, and I went and trained him for the site that I wanted him to work at. He was a cool dude, young guy, like I said, 27 years old. Um, but he always came to work. I never had to worry about him showing up for work. Anytime I asked him, I said, "Hey, I got an open site. Can you work?" He's like, "Yeah, give me about 30, 40 minutes. I'll be there." He always showed up for work, but for some reason, like I said, he had an asthma attack and he wasn't able to get to his inhaler, and that was all he wrote. And he's no longer here.
Um,
27 years old.
and let's be real too. I'm not trying to assume anything, but I think a lot of times too. I mean, we all know when it's your time to go, it's your time to go, and there's nothing you can do about it. But the biggest problem we have in America, especially with our culture, is people wanted to go to the doctor and wanted to be their own doctor, assuming they know what's wrong with their bodies. And that's the worst thing that you can do. Now, something could be wrong with you and you could still leave here. But you know what, Free? I'd rather know what's wrong with me than not know. So at
Right.
least I know what I have
I
to do.
mean,
Okay, if I'm eating this way and I know this could possibly kill me, then cool. But if I'm not going to see what the problem is, I might have high sugar, I might have something, but I don't know what I have, so I'm not thinking about it. So then when I pass away, the questions is well, what the fuck happened to him? Well, I mean, he seemed like he was all right, 42 years old. He didn't look 42. Every time we see him, he moving around here like he 20. We didn't know that's what he was. We didn't know that's what he was going through. He didn't know what he was going through. So how you gonna know? Because if you
yeah.
don't go get yourself checked, no, it's
I
it's
think
scary.
I think it's a little bit of the fact that people don't want to know that something is wrong. They're afraid
Yeah,
of what they might hear, and I be like that sometimes. I'm like, man, I don't want to know if it's something that's going to take me out. I don't want to know about it. Let's let it take me out. I rather I don't want to spend the rest of my days on this earth worrying about, am I getting better, or is this going to be the day that it takes me out, or this and that. So I understand the fear of knowing something is wrong with you and there's really nothing you can do about it. But it's also you have situations where there is something wrong with you that you can do stuff about it. So if it's something that you can't do nothing about, like if somebody got cancer, we know. I mean, well, we believe. I ain't gonna say we know because I believe there is a cure for cancer. But from what
yeah.
they told us, there is no cure for cancer. So if you hear that you got cancer, the only thing you can hope for is that you caught it early enough that you can get rid of it. They can take it out of your body. But if it's
Yeah,
at a stage where it already has spread, you're like, dang, I know my days is numbered. I don't want to be sitting here worried about, is this my last day? Is this my last day? Is this my last day? So, I mean, like I said, you have that fear of knowing that any day can be your last day. So people don't want to know that. They want to go through their life just living life, and if it's their time, it's their time.
yeah. You know, when you think about it, it's scary. Um, I mean, I feel the same way, but then I'm like, shit. You know,
Because I wish I can be this age or a couple of years younger for the rest of eternity. But we know it's not going to happen like that. At some
okay,
point,
of
we're
course,
all
of
going
course.
to
If
be
I listen, if I could stay 42 for the rest of my life, that would be amazing. But I know it's not gonna happen. You know, and this is why I always tell people, um, you know, when somebody's older than you, and sometimes they judge you on either your age or they'll just judge you on whatever it is. And I go, like, they say, like, if you're talking to somebody 60 years old, and then you like, all right, wasn't you 49 at one time? Wasn't you 35 at one time? Don't act like you've been 60 for 60 fucking years. Like, you ain't been 60 for 60 fucking years. Like, stop it. So, you know what I
yeah.
mean? I always tell people that. I'm like, yo, stop it, because the way people talk, like, I don't like people to be when they be like, oh, you 42, you're a baby. No, the fuck I'm not. I'm not a baby. We ain't doing that. And
Yeah,
that's
it
not
just
how you gonna address me. You gonna address me as a grown ass person. That's what you're gonna do. I'm like, yeah, I'm somebody's child, but no, I'm not no baby. You ain't gonna address me like that. We not doing that. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, like I said, because if people stop and just really think, at some point in time, you're not going to be here anymore.
No,
It kind of scares you a little bit. It kind of say like, dang, okay, what happens when I'm no longer here? What happens with the rest of my spirit? Do I go here? Do I go there? Is it really a heaven? Is it really a
yeah,
hell?
yeah,
Is it really is it a reincarnation? So it's kind of a scary feeling when you stop and think about it, because
uh,
at some point you're not going to be here anymore, and you never want to look that you never want to think about the fact that you're not here anymore. You never
no,
want to
no,
think
no, no,
about the
no, no,
fact
no.
that
You know what?
it's a possibility that you're not going to be here anymore.
And this is gonna be so fucked up to say this. I think a lot of people, no matter how they went out, whether it was natural or they got murdered, probably saved themselves from going through a lot of shit. Because let me tell you something. You know, there's hell on earth. Everybody talks about, yeah, but if you don't go to heaven, you go to hell. I'm like, shit, there's hell right here on earth. You know what I'm saying? And when I remember I had a cousin who passed away because he was suffering, he was dealing with cancer. And I remember before he took him out, he was like, yo, I'd just rather not be here anymore, dog. Because number one, look at the shit that we going through right here on earth. I'd rather not, man. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing I can do. If God tells me it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But he was so comfortable with going, it was just not normal to me, free. Because I'm looking at him like, you're comfortable with going. He said, well, what the fuck can I do? I can't. If it's my time, what you want me to do, man? You want me to write a letter to God asking him to keep me here longer? Ain't nothing I can do, bro. And then when you look at what we going through on this earth, man, I'm cool with getting out of here, man. The shit was
Yeah,
just, it wasn't normal to me.
I've always looked at it like life is not that hard. Life is hard because you make it hard. Like
Yeah,
most people like, oh man, life is hard. No, no, it's hard because you make it hard.
yeah, you make it
Because
hard.
if you follow the rules of life, life is easy. Everything has rules. Whether it's life, whether it's living in a state, whether it's living in an apartment, whether it's living in a shelter, whatever you do, it has rules. You have a
Yeah,
rule. It might be a unspoken rule, but it's a rule. Like life is a rule. You're supposed to take care of your body. You're supposed to keep yourself out of danger, and you're supposed to do the right thing.
Uh,
That's
I think
that's the rules for life,
I
and most
think
people don't follow those rules.
I think the thing that makes when they say life is hard is that, like you said, people make it hard on themselves, but then also people try to control things that they have no control over. That's when you're making life harder than what it is, when you're trying to get control of shit that you have no control over. And I always tell people that stop worrying about the shit that you don't have control over. Because some of us, we want control of everything. We want to be bossy. Everything got to be our way or it's no way. There's certain things I learned that, you know what, you can keep complaining about this shit all you want to, but you have no control of it. So don't worry about it.
Right.
That's the life that I start to live. You know what? I have no control of this. I tried to get control of it, and I have no control of it. So it ain't meant for me to have control over. I let go and I let God deal with it because I'm
Yeah.
not going to go crazy trying to figure out how could I deal with this. Certain
No,
shit we
I
just
mean,
don't. Certain shit we can't. Certain shit is just not meant for us to have control over. The problem is you can't. You can't try to control everything. You just can't do it. It's just gonna be some things in life that we don't have no control of if we're gonna live or die. Now we can't control. We can control not putting ourselves in a situation where we could die. We can control that and be like, I'm not going here. I'm not getting in a car with this person because I know this shit could turn out bad for me. I'm not doing these drugs. We got control of that part. But far as if you lay down and go to bed and God said, that's it, it's time for you to go home, we ain't got no fucking control of that shit. It is what it
right.
is. Too
Yeah.
many people worry.
Like when it comes to just living your life, just just regular, not even the fact of dying and anything like that. Things are put in place for you to grow, because
Yeah,
you can never grow if you're never taught a lesson, if you never go through trials and tribulations. You can't grow. Yes, you will get older, but you're not growing. Growing is about learning and experiencing different challenges. If you're not experiencing different challenges, you're not growing. Like look at it as a baby. When a baby is born, the first challenge to a baby is to roll over onto his stomach. The next
yeah,
challenge is for a baby to be able to get onto all four, the hands and knees. Then the next challenge is for that baby to start crawling. The next challenge is for that baby to be able to stand up. It's the same thing going through life. If you never get the challenge, you will never be able to grow. You will just stay in that same state. Yes, you will get older, but you will still be that same immature individual because you never been through any challenges. You don't
yeah,
know how to deal with the stress of the world. You don't know how to deal with taking care of your bills. You don't know how to deal with holding down a job because you never been through any of those challenges.
yeah, yeah. Um, I know y'all like, oh my God, what are y'all talking about? No, we just, you know, we were speaking also not just about Ricky Hatton, but we were speaking about how, when we see guys dying at that age, any age that matter, but when it's something about when it's in your 40s, it just hit different because you start thinking about you. You start thinking about, and it should make people free appreciate life more. Where I always say my birthday has became a holiday for me, which means I don't go to work on that day. That's just me. Some people might say, no, I'm gonna still go. That's money. That's you. I appreciate my birthday a little more than what people do because it's not just another day. It's something more major than that because I didn't have to live to see. I don't have to live to see 43. Why? Because I say you don't have to live to see 50. Why? Because you say, but when we do get there, that's a blessing. It's a blessing for us. So, when I hear people say, man, it's just another day, and I'm like, man, you got to be way more appreciative than that because you got situations where people are either going to sleep and not waking up, on their job and they're dying, or they
Uh,
possibly get caught up in something. I've watched people this year in New York, from little kids that me and you are old enough to be their parent, just be brutally murdered. And I'm
well,
like, damn,
I'm gonna
free. I
tell you
don't know
what
what
I
it was
do.
for you as a teenager, but for me, I'm just glad I got past my teenage years free. I'm super glad because the way these kids are fucking dying today, this shit is crazy.
I mean, like I never put myself in situations where it me stepping out on the street can be my last day. If me
Yeah,
stepping out on the street and it's my last day, it's because it was meant to be my last day. Not because I put myself in harm's way, but because it was just meant for me to go that day. But
yeah,
I look at like I give everybody this challenge. Um, on your birthday, you should celebrate your birthday. And for a long time, I used to work on my birthday. I never took days off from work. I will always work on my birthday. Or sometimes my
Before
birthday.
you answer that, how long you think you've been working on your birthday? Like how many years have you gone straight with you just working?
I work outside of my birthday falling on a holiday, and I couldn't work. Every day of every birthday that I have always worked. And like I said, unless it fell on a holiday and I couldn't work because my birthday is January 16th, which is the day after Martin Luther King. So sometimes my birthday fell on a holiday where I couldn't work because we was off that day. But if it was a day that I was scheduled to work, I worked every single day from the time that I started working um, until maybe a year ago.
Yeah,
Maybe a year ago. But I started thinking about it. I said, you know what? I always say there's certain things that I want to do in my life that I haven't done yet. And I said, that's what I'm gonna start doing because I got to a point like I'm an adult. I don't celebrate my birthday the same way I did when I was a kid. My mother used to have birthday parties. I would go out or things like that. I would
yeah,
when I became an adult and I started having children, I was like, nah, I'm gonna take care of my kids. My birthday is not that important. I do what I got to do for my kids. I make sure they have good birthdays and whatever. But
yeah.
now as I got older, I said, you know what? Every year for my birthday, I'm gonna try to do one of the things that I said I never done in my life that I want to do. Like this year, well, next year coming up on my birthday, me and my wife are planning to going on a cruise. I never been on a cruise. She never been on a cruise. So I want to do something that I have never done. The next birthday, I might end up going to Hawaii or going to the Bahamas or doing something else, going to Vegas with my wife because she never been to Vegas. And the only time I went to Vegas was for a weekend. We drove down there and then drove back. So I might do something like that. So that's what I said. I want to do something that I've always said I wanted to do that I never got a chance to do for my birthday. Shoot, one of my birthdays, I might end up going to a Super Bowl. I don't know, but I'm gonna try to do
That would
something
be
every
dope.
year. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do something every year for my birthday that I've never got a chance to experience throughout my life because of me just going through life and just having a ball and not really paying attention to what I was doing because I was young. I was I wasn't really caring about things that I did. I just did whatever went down. What I would go with the flow. Whatever was the flow of the moment at that time, I went with it. Outside of me putting myself in harm's way. Like I said, I was never one of those one. If I saw dudes in my neighborhood was beefing with a set of dudes, I made sure I wasn't in the area. I would disappear. I might go visit my mother, or I stay in the house for that day, or whatever have you. I was never one of the ones that. Now, if I was out somewhere and the trouble came, I handle my own. But
Yeah,
I'm not one of those ones that I'm gonna be out there and I know trouble is coming. You're just stupid if you know trouble is coming and you're gonna stay there like, oh, I ain't going nowhere. Well, you asking for something to happen to
yeah.
you because you know it's coming
You got
and you're
some
not taking
dummies.
no precautions.
You got some dummies that'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, if you know trouble is coming and you're not taking any precaution to get away from the trouble, you asking for something else. Oh well, I got my hammer with me. Well, nine times out of ten they got hammers with them too.
Of
So
course.
because you got a hammer doesn't mean that they ain't got one.
And people like that
Oh
are
yeah.
people like that I stay away from because I'm like, you know what, you're ignorant, and standing next to you, something bad gonna happen to me. So yeah, I'm about to be off this. I can't stand around idiots that think like that. And you think like that, man, I'm not gonna be near you, man, because you're a liability, and I'm not taking no chances. And I tell
But
Tiffany
people,
that when we
oh,
go
you
places,
ain't
I
gonna
tell Tiffany that all the time when we go places. I go, let me tell you something. I don't give a damn if it's your best friend. I'm your best friend in marriage. Forget your best friend you grew up with. If there's ever a situation where something's about to go down, I don't give a damn about your bestie being involved with that. You get your ass on out the way. Because let me tell you something.
yeah,
9 times out of 10, the person who started is never the person that ends up dead. It'll be the person that
right.
had nothing to do with it that ends up dead.
And they be like, oh, you ain't gonna ride with your boys. Listen, there's one thing if you with your boys and trouble comes, then you ride with your boys. There's another thing when you all know trouble is coming and y'all decide to stay there. That's two different things.
There's two different
I'm
things.
not
And
gonna
people don't understand that. Two different things.
I'm not if I'm with my boys and we all know trouble is coming and we don't disperse and get the hell away, well, we asking for something bad to happen. Now, if we out somewhere or we just happen to be on the block or whatever have you, playing basketball or whatever, and trouble comes our way, then yeah, we're all gonna get down together. But if they say, hey, these dudes coming, they y'all the dudes y'all beefing with, they say they coming and this and that. I got word from my people say they in their car, they on their way around here now. Well, if you decide to, oh, I'm gonna hold down the fort, nigga, I don't know what fort you holding now. I'm going to my house.
Yeah.
I'm not staying on the street when I know that they're coming and they not coming just to fist fight. That's it's not that type of people. See, like where I'm from, you would get into a fist fight out on the streets. But if you got a beef with a neighborhood and they're coming, it ain't gonna be no fist fight. They ain't coming to fist fight. They coming to lay somebody down. That's the difference. So nah, I'm not saying it. Yeah, I handle mine when if I'm out there and I'm caught up in it. Then yeah, I handle mine. But I'm not gonna wait around for it. That's just dumb. You waiting around. So they say, hey, the stick up boys is coming. You gonna just wait around for the stick up boys? No, your ass gonna get the fuck up out of there. You're not gonna. Who waits around for the stick up boys? Nobody waits
Yeah.
around for the stick up boys. They go. They disappear. They lay low or whatever. They know the sticker boys is coming. Hey, dog. We gotta lay low. You hide out over there. You hide out over there. If y'all see him, y'all just put the word out so everybody know. Ain't nobody just gonna wait around. Oh, the sticker boys coming. All right, bet we gonna hold down the fort. Nah, we we dispersing. Y'all remember when the wire? Y'all saw the wire? That wasn't just a made up part in the movie. When the sticker boys come, niggas go. They get ghosts. They out.
Oh yeah. Hey,
They out.
here come
Because
here come
yeah, you
here
might
come
you might you might have a gun and you'll hold it down, but the nine times out of ten, you ain't really trying to bust your gun unless you have to. The sticker boys are coming to bust their gun. They're gonna ask you one question: where's it at? If you ain't giving it to them, they're gonna bust their guns.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Now a lot of y'all probably walked in and been like, "What the fuck is y'all talking about, man? I thought we was talking about Ricky Hatton." We were, we were just getting deep into life and how um it could all end. We don't know why Ricky passed. We don't know why a lot of people pass.
No,
Sometimes it's just
for
time to go.
you ain't no real one. I'm gonna tell you what's real. What's real is I'm still here, and there's individuals that I grew up with that's not still here. That's what's real.
I told the story about a friend of mine back in 2003 who was murdered because he was in the game. We still don't know to this day who did it, but we know the individuals that was involved were people that he knew that I possibly knew too. that we all went to school with. But 19 years old. The year he graduates, 2 months later, he's dead.
Yeah.
Um,
Like
Scary, man. It's
everybody,
scary out there, man.
everybody in this world was given common sense. Common sense means if you know something bad is happening, you do everything in your power to prevent the bad thing from happening. If you stay there and you know trouble is coming, you want the bad things to happen. That's not common sense. That's just dumb. It's not common sense.
Yeah.
If you
Some people,
if you driving down the street, you driving down the street and you see a car coming head on in your direction, you're gonna keep going straight or you're gonna swerve out of the way. If you keep going straight, you want to have a car accident. The common sense will tell you to swerve out of the way. You're not gonna
yeah.
go head onto the car.
Some people are just. Some people think they Mr. Untouchable. Some people think that shit can't happen to them. Oh, I ain't worried about it because my cousin live right down the street. What the fuck does that got to do with why you standing right here though? You think somebody gonna give you enough time to get down the street to your cousin? Are you kidding me? And this is how we think. We think ignorant and stupid, man. Very ignorant and stupid.
You know what I used to hate when people say, man, I can go anywhere. People know me. People know me. Ain't nobody gonna touch me. People know me. Yeah, people might do know you. I would expect people to know you. I would expect you went around that neighborhood a lot. I would expect people in the neighborhood to know you. But there's always
Um,
somebody that just moved to that neighborhood that don't know you.
well, what people have to remember is you might be able to go everywhere, but that don't mean you're liked. That doesn't mean you're liked because you're able to go places. I'm able to go a lot of places, but that don't mean I'm liked. I go into a lot of boxing shows. You think everybody likes me? I got some people to salute me and some people who gonna grill me and some people gonna say, man, he's this and that. They ain't gonna tell me, but they ain't gonna keep it to themselves because they smart. But
You got to understand. People are always trying to make a name for themselves.
of course,
They always trying to make
hey,
a name
listen,
for
perfect
themselves.
example.
And how else do a young dude on the streets make a name for himself by taking out an OG that a
Per-
lot of people respect, but they don't like him, but they respect him. They don't
per-
like him though.
Perfect example. The dude that Queen's Flip got into a fight with at the fucking parade. Dude wasn't trying to do nothing but make a name for his fucking self. That's all.
I give,
And other
I
than
give you
that,
another.
you believe that.
I give you another example. The dude that took out Alpo.
Of
Everybody
course.
respected Alpo, but they didn't. Most people didn't like him, but they
No.
respected him.
Yeah.
That one dude that rolled up beside him and took him out, he made a name for himself
Yeah.
because
Now
he took
nobody
out
knows.
Alpo.
Yeah, it's crazy because dudes, especially when you're not just in the hood, but when you're in the penitentiary, everybody wants to be, yeah, man. I'm the one that got him the fuck up out of here. Oh shit, leave him alone. That's the one who got Poe up out of here. But then even with him now, there's somebody who looking to make a name so they can say I'm the guy who killed the guy who killed Poe. Like, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? Everybody's looking to make a name for themselves. Like it's crazy.
Everybody. As I said, you gotta. Everybody is born with common sense, and it's called common sense because throughout life, things hit you, and you say, you know what? It's not smart to do that. That's common sense.
Oh
If
yeah,
you if
yeah,
you if
yeah,
you go
yeah.
against if you go
Yeah.
against your common sense, whatever happens to you, it's your fault because
Well,
we
whatever
all
happens
said
to
it.
you,
We
whatever
all said
happens
it
to you,
before.
yeah, yeah.
We all
You
we, we
deserve
all
it.
said that before. I shouldn't have did that. Damn, I shouldn't have. I knew I shouldn't have went down that street, or I knew I shouldn't have went in that store. Told
Um,
me not to go over there, but you still did it.
yeah.
It's your
You know what? When it comes to doing family events, man, and it's fucked up because it shouldn't
My
feel
bad.
like that when
Yeah,
it's a family event. But when
you
it's a
went
family
you went
event, that's
against
how
your
I feel,
common
Pope.
sense.
I'll be like,
You
nah.
knew not to do it, but you did it anyway.
I'll be like, yeah, the family getting together. Yeah, I'm not going because if I
yeah.
go, I feel like I'm gonna regret it. I'm not going.
You always have that common sense that hits you while you're walking somewhere or while you driving somewhere or you could be riding in a car And it happened to me one time before. I was riding with some dudes, and we was about to go somewhere, and they were like, "Yeah, we about to go over here and do this, and that." I was like, "Bet I roll with y'all." And then as we
Yeah,
was riding, I was like, "Nah." I was like, "Hey, dog, drop me off at the house." They were like, "Huh?" I was like, "Drop me off at the house, dog. I'm gonna go home." I was gonna go, but I got some stuff I gotta take care of. I ain't even gonna better do it. Sure enough, them niggas got pulled over shortly after they got to where they was going. They got pulled over, and like three of them got locked up. And I was like, shit, I could have been right along with them. But
yeah,
something told me, get the hell up out the car.
for some bullshit. You know what I mean? It's always I don't care, man. I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure my black behind stays alive. You know, I let God decide my faith. I won't let the streets decide. I'm not gonna let family decide. I'm not gonna let a bunch of losers who's standing around and because they got beef with each other. This is the perfect time to let it out, and bullets don't have a name to it. So I let God determine my death. I don't let. I'm not gonna let a family member or fools or anybody out there, not even my own wife. And people got to understand that. So like I said, to see, uh,
Y'all gotta
you know,
remember, y'all only got one life to live, and you gotta make good with this life.
yes,
When it's over, it ain't no redo. It ain't no start back from scratch and redo all of the mistakes that you made in the past. You have one life to live, and with this life, you gotta make good with whatever you can make good with. It's like the old saying, you gotta you gotta play the hand that you're dealt. Like I said, for
yeah,
for people that ever play spades, you might look at your hand and be like, damn, I ain't got no books. But as the card plays out, you see you'll skate a coin through and make a book. You'll cut another book that you ain't even realize you was gonna cut and made another book. Next thing you know, you done made about two, three books, and you looked
yeah,
at that hand and didn't think you had any books. It's the
yeah,
same thing with life. It might seem like you can't be successful, but as you go through life and you start doing things the right way and you start putting the effort and putting your mind to what you want to do, you realize things start coming together. Next thing you know, you done got that house that you was working for. You done got the car that you was working for. Now you in a position with the job that you thought you was only going to be an employee at. Now you're in a management field. So you gotta push forward. Just because you dealt a bad hand doesn't mean that you can't make no books. You still gotta play it out because you might be able to skate some books through that you didn't think you could skate through. But if you just look
yeah,
at your hand and say, I ain't got no books, and you just throwing the cards out there, you ain't gonna make no books because you ain't trying. You ain't
yeah,
trying. You ain't gonna make no books.
yeah. Um, and like you said, life don't have to be that hard. People make it harder than what it is. Life is very simple. I won't allow anything to make me feel like I don't want to be here anymore. Like, getting depressed and all that is part of life. Some things are gonna happen. You have a moment. But for me to have a whole bunch of stuff bother me where I just feel like life is this, life is that, man, I don't give a shit. I'd rather sit here and get in trouble for some shit that I have no control over than to sit here and let it just drive me crazy. And because I don't have no control of it, I'm just ready to crash out. Man, free, I don't give a shit about none of that because I realize we live in a world that don't give a shit about us anyway. It don't. Like it was crazy, right? I was you know how they say that nobody's above the law? And
Okay.
I was thinking about that yesterday, and I said because I was looking at these six correction officers that they was checking these females the wrong way when they were coming in. It was on the news, and I'm sitting there looking at it, right, and I'm like, it's certain shit you don't have no control over because once you go to prison, you have to do what the officers say, or if you don't, you know what it is. But I'm like, okay, what makes y'all think that when they say people nobody's above the law? I said that's including the people who work for the law. You ain't above the law just because you work for the law. So the rules are the same for everybody.
I, I,
Um,
I, I, when people say that, I say they're right to a certain extent. Nobody is above the law, depending on where you at in life. Depending on where you at in life, because if you somebody that everybody feel is a necessity,
yeah.
oh, they're gonna find ways to get you off. But if you're somebody that's expendable, then yeah, anything that comes your way, you gonna get the book. You
Yeah.
gonna get the book. But if
Yeah.
you're a necessity, oh nah, they gonna find ways to get you off. They gonna
Yeah.
okay, like I mean, perfect example, Donald Trump.
Oh yeah.
You mean to tell me this man had, I think it was 13 felonies that he was convicted on, and this man
Crazy.
was still allowed to be president?
Crazy. Omar, what's good, man?
So
That's crazy.
it all depends on where you at in life. Nobody's above the law, depending on where you at in life. Because
Yeah,
like
you
I
know
said,
what? I didn't even think of that. It's crazy
if
you
you're
said that.
necessity, they will find a way to get you off.
I didn't even think of that now until you said it. And when you go back to Trump's situation, that's the best situation. That's the best example to use out of everybody. Because I was trying to figure out, okay, this dude must think he's above everybody, and oh, they gonna deal with him. They gonna deal with him the right way. And then we look, and I'm like, they ain't dealt with him. What the hell is going on here?
I mean, like I said, I mean, just think about it. If you went to court and they had 13 cases on you and they was all found guilty on all 13 cases, you're not walking out of that courthouse.
No, no, sir. No, sir.
You're gonna at the minimum, you're gonna at least have to do at least 3 years in jail. You got 13 felonies at the minimum.
At the minimum.
Even if you got the best lawyer that you can buy, you're gonna do at least 13. I mean, you're gonna do at least 3 years in jail.
Yes,
They're
sir.
gonna find a way. They're gonna say, okay, yeah, we're gonna let this go. Go along with this felony. We're gonna let this one go. We're gonna let that one go. That one, but you're gonna have to do some time. You're not gonna do the full amount. We're not gonna hit you with 25 years, but you're gonna have to do some time. This man had
Yeah.
13 felonies that he was found guilty on, and he still walked out of the court. Not only did he walk out of the court, the man became president again. If that was Barack Obama that was found guilty on 13 felonies, man, he would have ran for president. They were like, you're not allowed to run for president. You got 13 felonies.
I'm trying to tell
You're
you.
not allowed.
I'm trying to tell you. It ain't no way in hell they would have let that go down like that. But oh
No.
man. Oh man. It just shows you this country we live in, this world we live in. We just show you. That's why I be telling people. Sometimes we be on here on these YouTube channels, and we stand on the corner in our communities arguing and debating about the wrong shit, man. And then we sit there and say, man, they don't want a black person having nothing. Well, hell, you don't want nothing. You don't
The,
want nothing.
See, that's the thing. Like when they throw the little race card up there, and I understand. I mean, I understand that we don't get the same benefit of doubt as other people. With you knowing that, that means you need to apply yourself differently. Because
Yeah,
if I know that they gonna if I'm taking a test and I know they're gonna grade my test harder than they will grade the person next to me because they feel that I should know better. I should know better because I might be a straight A student, but this person is an average student. He's a C student. He's an average student. And so he might answer the question the same way I would answer. They will give him an A, but because the way I answered it that way, and they know I should do better than that, they might say, "Oh, that's not good enough," because you should be doing better than that. If I already know that, then I don't
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Good morning to all my people who's just coming in. Sorry, some of y'all probably trying to figure out what's going on. I thought y'all were talking about Ricky Hitman Hatton. Yeah, we are, but we
can you hear me?
also, yeah, I hear you. We also getting into
I
some
don't
deep
know if you
stuff.
can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear
Let me
you. I can
reset.
hear you. I can hear you. So a lot of y'all walking in, we was honoring Ricky Hitman Hatton. We talked about him, so I don't want y'all to think, oh my God, what did I walk into? Uh,
Damn, I don't know what happened to Clarence. Clarence didn't drop off. I'm up here, but Clarence ain't up here. But yeah, like I was saying, if I know that, then I know I gotta apply myself differently. I gotta I gotta make sure I be on my P's and Q's. Oh snap!
all right. Hold on, y'all. I don't know what I just did. Give me a second. Oh Lord, we still live. Hold on, y'all. Y'all just give me a second. I don't know what the hell I did. Got me all over the place. I'm all over the place with it. Okay, here we go. Now we got it, y'all.
Yeah,
Little
my bad.
technical
No,
difficulties,
but
but we
yeah,
got it now. We got it now. Little technical
yeah.
difficulties, but we got it, buddy. Now, what was you saying now, Free?
No, I was just saying, if I know that they looking at me to be to apply myself differently, it's up to me to do better. If I'm going for a job and I know that it's less likely for me to get the job over another individual, I gotta make it without a shadow of doubt that they look at the other person as a better candidate. I got to
Yeah,
show everything that I've done. Like when I go for these jobs, I don't just say, "Oh, yeah, I've been a supervisor before," and things like that. I give a breakdown of everything I did as a supervisor for that job, everything I did as a manager for that job, everything I did as a manager for that job. So when they look at it, they be like, "Well, shit, he did all this. This dude, he's definitely qualified." And then you look at another guy, oh, he went to school for training to be a manager. But this guy actually managed, and he's doing everything that we're looking for him to do. And then
yeah,
let me go with the guy that I know that can handle the job, let alone over the guy that just came out of school for a manager. Yeah, he's been trained on being a manager, but he's never actually been a manager. We don't know what he can do. We don't know what his capabilities are.
yeah,
So it just I just don't look at the race card and say, they're gonna hold me back. Nah, I hold myself back. Ain't nobody
yeah.
gonna
You know
hold me
what?
back.
That's everybody. When it come to our people, and I hate to say it, and I don't care who feels offended. Um, Y'all love running with that. I don't give a shit because not all the time it's somebody who don't look like you that don't want to give you the opportunity. Sometimes it's somebody who look like you that don't want to give you the opportunity. You know what I mean? I always say this: ain't no man from no color stopping me from doing what I want to do. Only
I had
I
I
can
had a
stop myself from that.
I had a person say that to me. They were like, "Oh, fool, you don't feel some type of way when you trying to get a job and they don't give you the job even though you know you qualify." I said, "No, I don't feel no type of way." I said, I do feel some type of way, but I don't feel that type of way like I'm just going to give up. What I do is if I go and I know I'm qualified and they give it to a guy that's less qualified than me, what I do is I go and apply for that same position with his competitor. Now, if I get the job with his competitor, oh, we taking him off the block. We putting them out of business because I'm gonna do everything I can to beat them out of every contract. I'm
Yeah,
like right now, I'm in position where I can get contracts for my company. The last security company I worked for, they didn't do me right. Oh yeah, we taking
yeah,
all the contracts from them. Every contract I can get from them, we're taking it. Hey, we're gonna put in a bid. We're gonna get that contract. We're gonna put in a bid for that one. We're gonna put in a bid for that one. I done already got like three contracts from my old security company that I used to work for because I told my people, I was like, hey, look, we need to go apply for this. This is what they need to be for us to work there. I used to manage the officers over there. I know exactly what they're looking for. I know the ins and outs of every of the operations over there. Bet, let's go get it. We got like three contracts already, and I'm working to get a couple of more because that's how I look at it. It puts a fire in me to go, okay, you, okay, Home Depot, you didn't want to give me that manager position, and I know that I was qualified to get it. Bet I'm going over to Lowe's and I'm gonna apply with Lowe's. I get the job with Lowe's. We putting Home Depot out of business. That's how I look at it.
yeah. You know what? Somebody asked me that recently about my position and what I do, as far as being a content creator. They said, man, you don't feel upset that they don't be putting you in this position, that they don't ask you to do this, they don't ask you to do that. I said, no, man, I don't trip. But when I get the opportunity, I said, no, Doug Zone is going to be putting a lot of. It's not my job to want to see people out of business, but I ain't gonna lie. Some people, I'm gonna make them real uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Because it's all about giving everybody a shot and an opportunity in life, man. Only way you should not get that shot is if you ruined it. If you don't give somebody a shot and opportunity, and then you just judging off them because of either what they look like or how they dress, or when you go on their social media. Like when I apply for credentials, there's a lot of these fucking promotions that don't give me a shot and an opportunity. And I'm like, word, all right, you know what? When I get to this point, I may not be able to put y'all out of business, but I'm gonna make sure y'all know who I am.
Like,
I'm
like
gonna make sure y'all know who I am.
the person that owns my company right now, if if I was in the same mind frame that I was in when I was 25 years old, I would have looked at him and be like, man, I'm not working for that daggone company. I'm not doing that. But
Yeah,
like I told you, when I came to work for his company, he was only 25 years old when he started this company. I started with this company when it was only 2 months old. He was 25 years old. I was in my 40s. I was what? That was 5 years ago, going on 6 years ago. I was 43 years old.
yeah, you was old enough to be his pops. Everybody, please go
That's what,
subscribe
that's
to
what
my brother D Hall in the People Show. Go subscribe to D Hall in the People Show. What's up, D?
I was 43 years old, and I decided to go work with his company. And who would have thought that I would be a vice president when I first started out with this company? Like I said, this company was only 2 months old. They only had seven contracts. If I was 25 years old, I wouldn't have looked at the opportunity that I can help this brand new company grow and I can grow with it. I'd have been looking at, they nah, they ain't got no benefits. They ain't got no stable work. Nah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
go
yeah,
work with
that
another
part.
company. But I said, you know what? I'm in a position in my life where I can do certain things that I normally wouldn't be able to do. I said, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and work with this company because I know what I know now. I didn't know that back then, but I know that now. I can help this company grow, and when this company grow, I can grow with it. So now I can be in a position where I'm not just an employee. I'm a boss. So like I never thought that I will be a vice president of a company. I would just go through life and work. I knew I could be a manager, but I never thought that I would be in a company where I'm a vice president of a corporation. Because we're no longer a security agency. We are a corporation now. So I never thought that I would be a vice president of a corporation. That's something that never regulated in my mindset. I always thought I want to own my own company or whatever, but the chances of that happening are very slim. But that's something that I wanted to do. But then when I started thinking about it, I was like, I really don't want to own my own company. I really don't. But I have no problem running somebody else's company where I'm higher up and I run it and I still get the benefits like I was a owner, but I don't have to deal with all of the taxes and all that stuff. That's not my responsibility. That's on the owner. So, but like I said, I never thought that I would be a vice president of a corporation. What's going on, DR?
Yeah, excuse me. I'm talking. Damn, now I realize my goddamn mic is on mute. It's like me. I want my own gym. But then I realized that's a lot, and I might have to end up working in somebody's gym and getting to a point where that prepares me to have a gym of my own versus me just jumping in and saying, I can I can get my own gym. So, how old is just I don't know. She's still young. I don't know.
Oh,
I know she's still in school. I don't know. She might be about 18, 19. If she's a little older than that, to be honest with you, I never asked her age. I'm gonna be real with you. I know she is young. She's not like 16 or anything. Because I damn sure would have asked for her parent permission or something to talk to her. Because you just got to be careful when you're doing these interviews. I try to be respectful. But she is old enough, so yeah. She fought at the. Did she ever fight at the Garden? I think she might have fought at the Garden. In the fight at Madison Square Garden, when you're an amateur, you got to be 18. They don't take anything under 18, so she's got to be about 18 or just a little older. But good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, we was on a Ricky Hatton, passed away this past Sunday, so we were honoring him, and we were just doing a little talking. And y'all know me. I'm not gonna talk boxing for 2 hours straight. Sometimes we'll get caught up in switching stuff around. Of course, this is not the morning chop up. I'll be back with the morning chop up tomorrow morning. But we were just building. Me and Free were talking about life, and we were talking about how Ricky Hatton passing away at 46 years old. How we have to, we just have to appreciate life more than what we appreciating it. And this is real. You have a birthday coming up. Don't treat your birthday like a birthday. Go enjoy it. Go enjoy it because you never know when it's going to be your last birthday. I hear a lot of people saying, I got plenty of birthdays. You can't say what you got because you don't decide what you got. You don't decide what you got. You know what I'm saying? And you're not the reason why you're made it 42 or 50 birthdays or 60 birthdays. Our Lord and Savior got us through that. So, we just got to enjoy life. No problem, D Hall. Yeah, but she is old enough to do an interview with. That I know for a fact. Yeah, we just got to appreciate life. So y'all trying to figure out how we get from Ricky Hatton to here. And some of y'all might have not want to hear about Ricky Hatton. That's cool. That's on you. This ain't always gonna be what you want to hear. I'm always about honoring and respecting people, rather if y'all want to hear about it or not. Because one thing I wasn't going to do this week is continue to have Bud and Canelo conversations. It's quiet for that. But
you know, it's time. It's time to move on from Bud and Canelo. The,
yeah,
the
well,
fight happened.
people, well, you know what, people, like I said, they see the views for those conversations, and here it is. It's no, it's over. Like I said, we got Gabrielle Fundora this week. I'm gonna be probably touching. I might be touching on her tomorrow, not tomorrow morning, but I'm gonna be touching on her. I'm gonna see who else is, and then I'm gonna see what else is going on this week. But yeah, that conversation for me is over. Some of y'all gonna carry it on, and go ahead and carry on, most respectfully. But there's no reason why we should be having any more damn debates about that. And Bud just went out there and answered all the questions.
Yeah.
Y'all wanted all the questions of what he could do, and he went out there and answered it. So that's it.
Yeah. But yeah. But for Ricky Hatton, I mean, he was a great fighter for the time that he was
Yeah,
in the sport of boxing, and he was a guy that looking at him, you wouldn't have thought he was a boxer or anything like that. Ricky Hatton didn't look like the typical boxer, and you wouldn't have thought he was as good as he was because a lot of times when we hear guys from that side of the world, um, we don't give a good light on a lot of those guys. There's not a lot of great guys over there.
yeah,
There are great guys over there, but we don't give them the benefit of doubt until they show us. When it comes to the American fan base, I mean the American fighters, we give them the benefit of the doubt, even though they haven't been tested. But when it comes to the other part of the world, their fighters, we don't give them a benefit of doubt until they've been tested. And we
yeah,
gotta we gotta we gotta stop doing that. We gotta start looking at the fact that everybody go through their trials and everybody gets tested at some point. Like the same thing with these young amateurs. I mean, these young guys that just came out of the amateurs. We all, oh yeah, he got skills. He did this and that. But when we look at the UK fight, we're like, damn, he got skills. But you always have that one person. Well, but who has he fought? He hasn't fought anybody that you know because you don't watch UK fighters.
yeah.
So you wouldn't know anybody. If I told you somebody, you wouldn't know who they was anyway. Oh, but for you acting like he did. Well, who the heck did Tiger Johnson fight? Who did Abdullah Mesa fight before these guys got to where they at now? Y'all was giving them praises before they got to where they at now. You got
Yeah,
to do the same thing for those guys as well. You can't just automatically write them off because they not fighting American fighters that you know. A lot of these guys aren't fighting guys that you know, but because you see the skills in them, you give them praises. Well, you can see
yeah.
the skills of these guys as well. Just like I saw Alakel on Saturday. And I was telling everybody, I was like, oh, they were like, oh man, this dude probably gonna get beat up. I was like, nah, he can fight. They were like, who he fought? I said, I can't remember the guy he fought, but I saw him fight one time before. He
You
can
know what?
fight.
I
And they
hate
was
when they
like,
ask that. I
oh,
hate when they ask that question who he fought. It don't matter because it's not like you know. So what
I
difference
was
does it
like,
make?
I was like, no, he can fight. And so when they started seeing him fight, they're like, oh shit, he can fight. I told you, he can fight. Dude can
I
fight.
just I just hate when they ask that question. Like it don't even matter who he fought because you ain't gonna know him, and that's the thing. This is why like a lot of y'all ain't boxing fans. You don't know shit. You only know fighters that you familiar with because even if I told you who he fought, the first thing you gonna say is the guys and nobody. You know why you gonna say the guys and nobody? Because you ain't never heard of them.
That's like my man Hot Rod. Hot Rod, like man, who has he fought? He hasn't got to that level to fight anybody. Oh, I ain't trying to hear about it. Well, don't jump on the bandwagon when the nigga get to that level.
That's
Because
what
I'm
they
telling you
do.
who he
This
is.
is what they.
I'm telling you
This
who
is
he
what
is
they do,
before that.
Free. This is what they do. This is why I tell them about the amateurs. I go, y'all. I don't watch amateur boxing. I don't care for it. Okay, so guess what? When that fighter signs with a promotional company, like with Keith Cologne, a lot of people didn't know about him. You know what I'm saying? But then when I got on with them, and then a lot of people they started to get on. Now everybody, not saying everybody jumping on the amateur boxing bandwagon, but I like to see more people going towards them guys because my thing is when them guys get to where they need to be, don't hit me up. Yo, Clarence, I'm not helping you with that because when I told you to stay on it and pay attention to him or her, like the girl that I interviewed and that D Hall's about to interview Thursday. If you ain't on her,
Don't wait till she becomes something and then want to come around her way. It ain't happening because I'm not gonna help you. You know what I mean? But this is what these dudes do. This is what they do. They only comfortable with who they know.
Oh, he ain't do this, ain't that. No, he just got 4 fights. He ain't supposed to be at that level yet. Y'all want these guys to have tough fights straight out the break. Nobody has done that outside of
I don't know
maybe
how they want somebody to have
outside
a
of
tough fight. They ain't never had a tough fight in their life. How the hell you worrying about somebody else having a tough fight? Half of y'all hardly had a damn tough fight coming up. Like
now
really?
outside of maybe Loma, nobody is getting tested like that straight out the break.
A
Loma is
tough
only
fight.
because they was pushing Loma. They wanted Loma to be a star. They was pushing Loma.
A tough
And
fight to y'all.
Loma started fighting when he was like 26 years old.
A tough fight to y'all is somebody going in there getting knocked out and beat half to death. That's what y'all. That's what a tough fight is to y'all. This is why I be like, y'all ain't
No,
real
no. I'm
fans.
gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you what a tough fight for them is somebody that they know who they are. That's a tough
Yeah,
fight for them. Even though the dude might not be highly skilled, but because they know them, okay, yeah, he fought such and such. Yeah, that hey, yeah, there's such and such can fight. Nigga, that nigga ain't that damn good. Like I heard somebody they was trying to big up Hyman McGill because he fought somebody. I was like, no, Jaime McGinn hasn't had a tough fight in his entire career until he fought Canelo. He was getting showcase fights all the way up until he fought Canelo. Oh, well, he beat such and such and became a champion. No, and such is who? Who is he? If you say because he fought him that makes Jaime McGinn good, how good is the person that you say Jaime McGinn beat? How good is he? Oh, well, he's about a C-level fighter.
man. These
Well,
people
how does
don't be
that make
knowing.
Jaime McGinn good? If you got him as a C-level fighter and Jaime McGinn beat him, how does that make Jaime McGinn good?
Hey, these dudes don't
That
be
just makes
knowing.
him better than a
These
C a
dudes don't
C-level
be.
fighter.
These dudes don't be knowing what the hell they talking about, and this is the reason why I'm glad I have the show I have. Because one thing I'm not about to do is entertain these bozos. I swear to God, I'm not about to do it. I'm not about to do it because it makes absolutely no sense to entertain these clowns. It is, and I hate to put it that way, but it doesn't make any sense.
Like I said, I look at these fighters and I can see the skill level, and I say, okay, yeah, if this dude keep perfecting on his craft, he's going to be a problem. I'm not saying that the dude is good right now. I see the skills that he has. If he keeps perfecting his skills, he's going to be a problem. Oh, free, you said this person. I said if he keeps perfecting his skills, he's going to be a problem. I didn't say he was a problem. I didn't say he was good. I said he got skills. If he keep practicing, keep getting better, he's going to be a problem. It's the same way when we first saw Jerron Business. If Jerron Business keep perfecting on his skills, he's going to be a problem. And what we see with Jerron Business, he's a problem. It's the same thing with anybody. Same thing when I saw with Abdullah Mason. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, free, you got Abdullah Mason on your pound for pound." Yes, because I grade my pound for pound based off of skill level, not based off accomplishment. Y'all go off
Well, well,
accomplishment.
they base they shit off favoritism, if you ask me, because
Yeah,
y'all don't even know that. Y'all don't even know the accomplishment. What's the accomplishment? That's the thing. They base it off of favoritism. Like a lot of these dudes don't know shit. I don't care what they say. Don't
they
care
said,
what they
"Oh,
say.
because he's a champion, and so he should be on a pound for pound, or because he's a two division champion, he should be on a pound for pound." Do you know who he fought for those two championships? Oh, well, he fought such and such. Well, did you know that when he fought such and such for those two championships, that they was both vacant belts? He didn't fight a champion for their belt. Oh, see, for
Yeah.
you nitpicking. No, I'm just calling it what it is. You said because he's a champion, he fought another guy that was a contender, and he became a champion. He didn't fight a champion for his belt. He fought another contender for a vacant belt.
Yeah.
That's no different than anybody else. If it was the number 9 and the number 10 and they fought each other for a vacant belt, they would be the champion.
That part. But you can't tell these fools that they don't be knowing nothing, man.
It's still two contenders fighting for a vacant belt. Just
That's
because
right.
one is one person is a number one contender and the other person is a number five contender, that doesn't mean anything. They both contenders. They're not champions. Yes, the number one is in position to be called a mandatory to the champion, but that's not the case. He didn't fight a
Yeah,
champion. He fought a lower level contender for a vacant title.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, man, we have enough room in this sport to learn things and to grow, and we choose not to. And sometimes I ain't gonna lie, we're gonna have to start separating ourselves from these dudes because a lot of us is not gonna do this YouTube shit forever. Some people been on here long enough, 10 years, maybe a little less than that. And then after a while, when you think about it, it's like, am I going to go the next 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, having the same goddamn arguments? Now, you might, because you're going to have new people walking in that don't know nothing. But then after a while, you look at it and you go, I'm not going to keep doing this. And not doing it doesn't mean I don't want to be on YouTube, but I'm not going to keep going back and forth with you dudes about the same shit. If you look at it from Monday to Friday, it's got to be the same shit, and we get into the same debates and arguments with people. And just like, how many times do we gotta? I think some people like it, and it's our fault because even though you want to give people a chance to voice their opinion, but they're coming on, and none of the shit they say makes sense, man. It's just
That's
it
why
gets at some point it gets aggravating.
I told somebody the other day I forgot who platform I was on. It wasn't one of the fellas. It wasn't one of those. It was somebody's platform I was on, and they asked me. They were like, "Oh, who you got in your top 10 pound for pound?" I said, "It doesn't matter." They're like, "What you mean? We want to hear." I said, "It really doesn't matter because y'all not going to agree with my pound for pound anyway." I said, "It doesn't matter." I said because I grade my pound for pound on something totally different than what y'all grade y'all pound for pound on. They're like, "Oh, free, how you gonna say that?" I said because I grade my pound for pound based off of skill level, not accomplishments.
I just say,
I don't care.
the first
I
thing
don't care if a guy. I don't care if a guy's a champion or not. I grade it off of skill level. If this guy is a fighter and I see his skill level, and especially if he's undefeated. Most of the guys that I have on my pound for pound are undefeated fighters, and I base it off their skill level. I don't base it off their accomplishment. I base it off their skill level. If this guy was to fight this guy and they was in the same weight class, I believe this guy will win. That's how I base my pound for pound. Y'all basing it on, oh, well, Bud is a three division undisputed champion, so he should be number one. Why?
yeah.
If you got Usyk on your pound for pound, do you believe that Bud beats Usyk? If you don't, then Bud shouldn't be number one. If you got David Benavidez on your pound for pound, if you don't believe Bud can beat David Benavidez, then Bud shouldn't be number one. The person that's
Yeah,
number one, you don't believe anybody below him can beat him. That's why
yeah,
you have him number one. That's
yeah,
why. Not because, oh, because he won three divisions undisputed, that makes him number one. No, because you don't believe anybody else below him can beat him. That's what makes him number one. Not
yeah,
what he accomplished. Because if you take the belts away, all of them are non-champions. If you take the belts away, now who do you believe is number one? You take all the belts away, all of the accomplishments. Who do you believe is number one?
yeah. That's a fact. That's a fact. But you can't tell these dudes that. Can't tell them that.
I got to put Monster number two. He's a two division undisputed champion. So do you think that Bud? Do you think that Usyk can beat Monster anyway if they were the same size? Yeah. Well, then how the hell you got Monster as number two if you got Usyk as number four?
You can't do it with these dudes, man. You can't do it with them. They don't know shit, man. And I'm not saying I know everything. I leave a lot of room for me to grow and learn stuff that I don't know, or I take the time to think about stuff. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of dudes just want to assume. I don't know where for the last 5 years, I don't know where some of you goofy ass people done came from. I'm telling you. I mean, some of y'all were here before COVID got in, but it seemed like from 2020 to 2025, I don't know where you goofies came from. And every year it got worse. It got worse every
That's
year.
what I said. That's what I told her. I said, no, I said it doesn't even matter because y'all not gonna agree with it anyway. It don't even matter.
Like super duper goofies, man.
'Cause
Everybody
I
wants to
remember
be.
it was only, and I know this for a fact at the time. Now, I mean, it changed. It changed a couple of weeks later or a couple of months later. But at the time, the only two people that was on Adula Mason, the only two that I've ever heard that was saying Adula Mason is the goods was me and Knockout. Me and Knockout was the only two that said Adula Mason was the goods. Everybody was like, "Oh, I gotta see more for Abdullah. He looked like he might be, but I gotta see more for him." Me and Knockout was the only two that said Abdullah Mason is the goods. We were the only two.
Yeah,
Now everybody coming around. Oh, Abdullah Mason this, Abdullah Mason that. I said, no, I've been said that. I've been
yeah,
told y'all that.
like, yeah. But that's what they do. They D-ride. They D-ride. You know what I'm saying? They D-ride, man. And that shit pisses me off. And I just be like, yo, stay over there with that. If you're a non-believer, stay over there with that. Just like going back to the amateurs. Y'all ain't worrying about them because they amateurs. But as soon as they get hot and they go pro, now all of a sudden it's you want to, yo, man, that kid is dope. Oh, she dope. Nah, man, don't do it. That's why I'm in that. That's why I don't really have to argue boxing, man. That's why I don't have to worry about it. I'm like, I talk professional boxing just to talk it. I really don't have to. I don't have to. That's why my angle is amateur boxing, because then I have nothing to argue about when it comes to that. Maybe sometimes on how the referees do or the judges do, but other than that, I have nothing to really argue about. This pro shit got y'all in y'all feelings. Y'all be ready to bust a nut off this boxing. And I'm like, yeah, it ain't that serious. I mean, moist meters on deck. It ain't that serious, bro.
You do got a favorite fighter. The Russells. I'm like, no, I don't have no favorite fighter. Oh, but you be riding for the Russells
So
because that's my family. Of
that's my
course I'm a
family,
ride
you
with them.
idiots.
Of course I'm a ride
People,
with them. But
people say the
I said
dumbest
I
shit.
ride with a lot of people. I was the one that told everybody that Russell lost that fight. Everybody was like, nah, I thought Russell won. I was like, nah, he lost. He lost. He didn't
I
follow
don't
the
care what
game
you
plan.
thought.
He didn't follow the game plan, and he left an opening for dude to beat him.
I don't
And
care
what
what you
happened?
thought. You lost.
Russell came out and said the exact same thing that I said. He said, man, I didn't follow the game plan, and I let that one get away from me, but I do want a rematch. Oh, free damn. He said the same thing you said. I try to tell y'all don't want to listen to what I gotta
They
say.
don't want to listen, man. They ain't gonna listen. That's why it's no point to keep talking to some of these morons, because they not gonna listen. But they get horny off coming up there, going back and forth with you, and I don't get it, man. You gotta. I tell you, you. I say you one of the people who got a lot of UBF and Drew and whoever else. Y'all got a lot of patience, because I don't have patience for stupidity. It's different when you're explaining something to somebody and they don't know and then they understand. Okay, free, I get it. But then when I explain something to you, how dare you call me a hater?
I'm like, no, you ride. Of course, I'm a ride with him. That's family. I'm always gonna ride with him, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I'm gonna tell you what I see. The same way I would tell what I see with any other fighter. I don't have a favorite. I don't say, oh, I can't wait till Gary fight again. Nah, y'all haven't heard me bring up Gary Russell's name for a fight ever.
Yeah,
People ask me, hey, what you think Gary gonna do? Oh, well, they working on a fight. I don't bring his name up. Y'all bring his name up. I don't never bring up the Russell's name. I, not
yeah,
one time have anybody ever heard me bring up Antoine. I might tell people who I'm family with when people ask me, "Hey, how you know so much about boxing?" Well, the Russells are my family, so I follow boxing.
yeah.
That's it. That's it. That's the only time I bring that name up. But other than that, I don't bring up their name. Like people be bringing up these names. Oh, Devin Haney this, or Tank Davis this, or T.O. this, or Shakur this, or Bud Crawford this, or Canelo this. I don't bring these fighters' name up. I come to the platform to have a discussion. Y'all ask me questions and I answer them. I don't
Because
bring the
that,
names up.
but that shows you right there, free, that they don't know shit, because all y'all do is bringing up fighters that y'all comfortable with. You telling me out of all the fighters in the world, out of every division, out of every promotional company, Tank, Devin, freaking Ryan, Boots, Bud. These are the only guys y'all know. These are the only guys y'all know.
I don't even. Like I said, I don't bring up any of these guys' names. They, we will have a discussion about a certain topic, and somebody else will bring the name up. Somebody else will bring the name up, and I
This is
give
why
my
I be like,
perspective on it.
that's why I said when y'all come over here, y'all gonna stick to the topic because if that's not what
Or
we talking about, you ain't about to walk in here bringing that up.
or if I do bring their name up, is to use it as an example. Is
Yeah.
to use it as an
See, but
example.
you know
That's the
what's so
only
crazy
time.
about using something as an example? Sometimes you can't even use nobody as an example because now you end up getting on the fighter that you're using as an example, and then they
Exactly.
change the whole conversation.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I'm like, wait a minute, this ain't about Boots. I'm
Because
just using him as an example, and then they go free, but you brought him up. I brought him up because I was using him as an example, you dummy.
it happened. It happened. I think it happened. Well, it didn't happen. It almost happened, but we shut it down. It almost happened with Tank Davis yesterday because we was talking about Bud Crawford. We was having a discussion about Bud Crawford, and they was like, "Do you think is not uh trying to be great by fighting David Benavidez?" I said, "Yeah, if he's moving to 175, but not if David Benavidez is coming down." They were like, "How?" Because David Benavidez did this. I said, "Yeah, going for greatness is by moving up to the next man weight class and beating that man. That's when you're going for greatness. Not having the bigger man come down. That's not going for greatness." I said, if that was the case, then is it David Benavidez going for greatness by coming down? They're like, no, it would be Bud Crawford. I said, nah, Bud Crawford is fighting in the weight class that he's in. David Benavidez is the one that's moving weight. Oh,
Yeah.
well then, yeah, I guess it is David Benavidez going for greatness. I said, well, if that's the case, then why didn't y'all say that when Tank Davis moved down to fight Leo Santa Cruz for the WBA Super? Y'all said Tank Davis was picking on the smaller guy. Oh, see, that was different. No, it's not different. It's the same thing. He moved down one weight class. David Benavidez will be moving down one weight class.
You can't talk to
David
these dudes.
Benavidez would have been fighting Bud Crawford for his title. Tank Davis fought Leo Santa Cruz for his title. What are you talking about? It's the same thing.
I can't
Oh,
talk to these dudes. That's why I'm
I said,
y'all.
you know what? We're gonna get off the Tank Davis. I would just use it as an example. We're gonna get off the Tank Davis, and we went to somewhere else. But I'm like, y'all can't keep it consistent. Y'all only make it when it's feasible for the person that you like. But when I bring up another example that happened the same exact way, oh, it was different. No, it's not. It's the same exact thing. But because you don't like that fighter, it's different.
What happened when he tried to choke me
Or
and
you don't care for that fighter, it's different.
hey, what happened when he tried to choke me and smoke backyard? Oh, that was different.
Okay. Oh, that was different.
Oh, that was different. Man, if y'all don't sit y'all moist ass down,
That's I'm like, no, y'all gotta be consistent. That's
they
the
don't know
thing that
what
I don't
consistent
understand.
is. They don't know what
See, that's what
consistent is.
BF said that the other day when I came on his platform. He said, man, I got to give a lot of props to my boy D Free. He said, out of everybody, D Free is probably the most consistent person I've seen on YouTube. He said he's even more consistent than me at times. He said, because I get a little off track sometimes, whatever. He said, but D Free, he keep it consistent. Because when I brought up the whole Devin Haney and Gary Russell and I broke down the contract, he was like, D Free was the first person to say, oh, he does. Because at that point, when I saw the contract, I believe that he does. I believe that he
Yeah,
does.
like a lot of these dudes, they just make me. I ain't gonna lie, they just make me sick. They make me sick because y'all be arguing points. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. Some of y'all just running your mouth just to run your mouth. Y'all just want to be able to say, I was on this person's show. I was on this person's chat. Because that's what y'all do when y'all come over here. Hey, send the link. You got to know me, man. I've been on this person's channel. I don't give a shit where you been. You ain't qualified to be over here. You're not qualified to be over here. This is this channel is for real boxing fans that know what they talking about, and then they're not just running their mouth to run their mouth. If that's you, then over here is not for you.
It's it's no problem in being a fan of a fighter. There's nothing wrong with being a fan of a
Nothing
fighter.
wrong.
Just just be consistent with your critique on these fighters. If you say this for one fighter, you gotta say it for all fighters. You can't change it up because you like that fighter or you dislike that fighter. You can't change it up. You gotta stay consistent. If they move in the same way, they move in the same way. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You'll never be wrong with being consistent and telling the truth on how you feel about it. If
No.
that's how you feel about it, that's how you feel about it. As long as you consistent across the board, can't nobody say, well, you changed up for this one. Well, hey, he don't like that because he said that for that guy, and I know he liked that fighter, so he's saying the same thing for this guy. They can't say anything about it because you consistent across the board. That's what people fail to realize. If you're consistent across the board, can't nobody argue with what you're saying because you are consistent across the board. They might not like what you're saying, but they can't say you're hating or you being dishonest or anything like that. If you say it for everybody that's moving that way, if everybody's moving the same way and you say the same thing for everybody, including the fighter that you like, they can't say anything about it because you're saying it for everybody.
Yeah.
It is what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, that's the reason why I stay consistent the way I do things, Free. Like you said, people may not never agree with what I say. Some people might think I'm really crazy. Some people might think I be judging channels, and you can think what you want. But one thing you ain't gonna be able to not say about Clarence is that I don't stay consistent. You don't have to like what I say, but I bet your bottom dollar my ass gonna stay consistent, rather if you like it or not. Because like you said, with these channels, all these channels are not supposed to be alike. It's not supposed to be
No.
alike. What fun is it if every fucking channel is alike? Who wants to go to 5 restaurants that serve the same shit?
If I go to McDonald's and they selling me a Big Mac, I don't want to turn around and go to KFC and get a Big Mac. I'm going to KFC because they sell something different. Not going to
Yeah,
KFC because they sell Big Mac. I'm gonna go to McDonald's for a Big Mac. I go to KFC for chicken.
know what I'm saying?
I go to Popeyes because I like their crispy chicken. It's something different. I'm not going to
And
Popeyes. I'm not going to Popeyes to get original the original chicken. No, that's why I go to
no,
KFC for the original. I go to Popeyes for the crispy. It's
that's a
different.
fact.
I go to Wendy's for a Dave double. I don't go to daggone Burger King for a Dave double.
No,
So I
no.
mean, I say it's nothing wrong with being different. You can be different, but you also need to be consistent. I'm not gonna like everything you like. You're not gonna like everything I like. We might like some of the same things, but I know I'm not gonna like everything that you like because everybody don't like what I like. There's some things that I don't like that my wife like. But me and
Yeah,
my wife are married. We married. We like a lot of things the same. But there's some
yeah,
things that she like that I don't like. Like she can eat olives. I hate olives. She already know if I order supreme pizza, not to put olives on it because she know I don't like olives. Even though she like olives, she know I don't like them, so she would never get olives on a supreme pizza, or she'll say put olives on only half of it, the other half no olives, because she already know. So
yeah.
it's nothing wrong with being different. Just stay consistent. That's the
And
problem.
they
Your
don't know how to do it.
inconsistency is the problem. That's the problem. The inconsistency. If you're consistent across the board, if Tank Davis is fighting the exhibition and you upset that Tank Davis is fighting the exhibition, you can't turn around and say, "Oh, we gotta watch Shakur fighting the exhibition." Hell no. You was
No,
just pissed off at Tank Davis fighting the exhibition, but we supposed to be happy because Shakur fighting the exhibition? Nah, nigga, you
hell
supposed to be
no.
pissed off too.
Like I
No.
said, some of y'all have no channel. You have no You have no nothing. And I hate to put people down, but the best thing I heard Sheik Luke's from the Lock say when he got interviewed by Angie Martinez, him and Styles P said, man, stop giving everybody a podcast. Stop allowing everybody to just get on and just talk shit and don't know what they talking about, because that's all y'all doing. And y'all gonna continue to do it. I know I can't change anything. I'm not trying to change it. I know y'all gonna continue to do it. Just know that that type of shit is not welcomed over here. I'm gonna tell you just like that. It's
Well,
not welcome over here.
they're going to continue to do it because that's the human nature. The human nature
Yeah.
doesn't allow certain people, because being consistent is something that you have to train yourself to do. That's not something that you just automatically do. You have to train yourself to be consistent. It's the same thing with like going to lift weights. In order for you to have a regular workout regimen, you have to do it consistently every day. If you don't do it consistently every day, it's not going to be a habit. Like if you wake up and work out every morning for a month straight, it's going to be a habit. You're going to automatically wake up, wash your face, brush your teeth, put on your gym clothes, and go to work out. Even on a day that you realize you ain't supposed to be going to work out because you got to go to court or you got a job interview to go to, you're automatically going to wake up and put on your gym clothes because it's a habit. You've been doing it consistently every day. You've been doing it consistently every day, so it's going to be a automatic habit that you're going to do because that's what you normally do. You have to train your body into doing it. If you don't train your body into doing it, it's not going to be a habit. That's why I said I can't have a favorite fighter, because if I have a favorite fighter, I know how I am. I'm gonna be biased. Whatever you tell me
Yeah.
about that fighter, I'm gonna say something different if it ain't nothing good. I'm gonna say something good about that fighter, even though I know he might be moving wrong. I'm gonna say something good because I'm biased towards that fighter. The same thing with the Washington Commanders. I know how I am with the Washington Commanders. Whatever you tell me bad about the Washington Commanders, I can know that they're doing something bad. I'm gonna find something good to talk about. I'm not gonna talk about the bad. I'm gonna talk about the good because I'm
Yeah.
biased towards my Washington Commanders. So it just, you just gotta understand how you are as a fan and just be honest with it. Well, I'm biased towards this fighter. You say that, I'm like, okay, cool. I understand. I know you biased towards this fighter, so I know certain things you're gonna say is, it might not be true or it might be stretched because you're biased towards that fighter. I already know how to come at you when we're talking about that fighter because I know how you are about that fighter.
Yeah.
But everybody else,
Yeah.
I can get an honest opinion from you because you're not biased towards them. But I know that fighter, I'm not gonna get an honest opinion from you because you're gonna feel like he can do this, he can do that because that's your favorite fighter. You're biased.
Yeah.
But people don't want to do that. They want to. Everybody want to automatically put out there. Oh, I'm consistent. Oh no, I tell the truth about every fighter. Oh, no, I don't do this. No,
Only
you
thing
don't.
you can, the only
No,
thing
no,
you
no.
consistent in is running your mouth. That's what a lot of y'all are consistent in. Now, if you want to say that, yeah, y'all consistent in running your mouth and not knowing what the hell you talking about.
And like I said, everybody. I mean, if you know me long enough, everybody that knows me long enough, no, I am not a Bud Crawford fan. Never have been. Probably never will be. But I'm not going to sit here and deny what the man did. The man put on a hell of a fight. He did what he was supposed to do. He did exactly what I said he should do, and I picked him for a unanimous decision, and that's what he did. But I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of Will Crawford. I just know what I see, and so I can critique these fighters honestly because I know what I'm looking at, and I'm not a fan of these fighters. The same way I'm not a fan of nobody else. I'm not a fan of nobody else. I like other fighters, but I'm not a fan of them. I'm a fan of the sport. Like everybody,
Yeah.
oh, I saw you got that Earl Spence shirt. No, you didn't. I never bought a shirt from. I never bought a shirt from nobody. I said I was, but I was like, nah, I can't do that because I'm not an Earl Spence fan. I like Earl Spence, but I'm not a fan of his. I'm not going to buy a shirt because then I got to go out here and buy everybody else shirt that can get a shirt made because I got to be
Um,
consistent across the board.
Well, the thing is this: if I go out today and I buy me a Crawford shirt, and that's what I want to do, I'm not going out to go buy 20 other shirts or 20 other boxes just to prove to you motherfuckers I'm a fan of boxing. I ain't doing it. And the thing is, we're not gonna allow free. We're not gonna allow not just me and you, but period people. Period. I don't care if you have a channel or if you don't have a channel. I'm not gonna allow you to dictate who it is that I like and who I want to support. So rather if it's Crawford, rather if it's Ricky Hitman Hatton or whoever it is, Jack Johnson, whoever, we're going to support what we want to support, and we're going to stay consistent in it. We're not here to make these goofies. Oh yes, we're not going to make these goofies comfortable. If you can't understand what it is that we do or why we like whoever it is that we like, or we don't have a pound for pound list, that sounds like a you problem. We're not here for you goofies. We're not here to make you goofies comfortable. And I disrespect y'all by saying goofies because that's what y'all are. If y'all wasn't acting the way y'all were acting, then I wouldn't have to say goofies. I'll just say, look, gentlemen, look, fellas, this is how it is. This is how it's gonna be.
Uh-oh. Just got a text message. January 26th.
What happened? You having a baby?
No, January 2026. Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez.
Now, come on now. Now you just sat there and said,
I just got the text message.
who texted you, man? You be knowing people like that free?
I can't give my sources, but it says it says an official. This is what it says. This is what it
You
says.
ain't shit, free.
Official announcement for Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson is expected very soon. With the super lightweight showdown likely to take place in January 2026.
That got New York written. That got New York written all over it. They better have it here. I don't, for real.
It says
All that going down in Vegas. Have it here. Hey, free. Hey, free. If they have it here, free, you got to pull up, free.
Let me see.
You know what I'm saying?
If they have it there, I gotta do what?
If they have it here for you, you got to pull up respectfully because we got to go take shots at Long Island iced tea.
I don't think it's going to be there though. I don't think it's going to be in New York.
You know what? I can't see it. You know what? Because of how people saying neither one of them sell out, I figured that would be good for the Garden. Because I can't see it doing anything in Vegas. I mean, people will go in Vegas, but I'm just saying, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't know.
I think it's going to be in Saudi Arabia on a Riyadh season undercard.
It better not be in no damn Saudi.
I'm just telling you this is what I think. I think it's going to be in Saudi Arabia on a Riyadh season undercard.
I'll be mad as shit if it's in Saudi. I will be 38. I would be 38. I'll watch it. I ain't gonna sit here and once again, some of you people, I ain't watching it free because it's in Saudi. Why it ain't here? Man, shut up. Y'all gonna watch it anyway. Shut up.
Because I'm trying to think who else is fighting in January. I'm trying to think, did they make any other fights in January?
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know, but all y'all that act like y'all ain't gonna watch it, y'all gonna watch it. Shut up. I ain't gonna watch it, man. Yes, you are. Happy y'all gonna watch Tank versus Jake Paul. Shut up.
It might be the trilogy for Demetrius Bivol and Arthur.
I mean, if it is, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, well, I ain't watching it. I'm gonna watch it. That's just something that I would love to go to. Now, when they do a press conference, if they do a press tour, which I know they'll do, and they come to New York and do it, oh yeah, I'm definitely trying to go to that. But I ain't gonna sit here and be like everybody else. I'm not watching it because it's in Saudi. Shut up. Y'all gonna watch it.
If they do it on the undercard of Demetrius Bivol and Arthur, it's not gonna be in Saudi neither.
Well, where would it be then, free? What do you think it would
in
be?
Russia.
Oh
be in Russia.
shit! Oh shit! That means my man Shakur
Dimitri-
got the train and run in the snow like Rocky. Damn.
Demetrius Bivol said he wants to have the trilogy in Russia,
Well, I ain't mad at him.
but they got a war going on over there. Why would you want to put it in a spot where they got a war going?
Yeah, if it's a war going, I ain't going. I don't give a shit.
I ain't going anyway. I'm not getting on no plane for no 14 hours, 16 hours, 12 hours. I'm not getting on a plane for all that time. No.
That's why somebody asked me if you was fighting. Somebody asked me if you was fighting, would you ever fight for Turkey? I said, yeah, as long as the fight is in the U.S., because I damn sure ain't going no 12 or 15 hours. I mean, not even 12 hours. I ain't going no 18, 19, 22 hours. I'm not doing all that shit, bro. I'm just speaking on not because the money not worth it, because I don't fly. For real. And I ain't flying that damn far. Even if I do fly, I go from here to Vegas. But when you start talking about them 16, 19, 22-hour flights, it's quiet. It's not happening. You can leave me out that shit. No, sir. No, sir. You will not get me to do any of that. Yo, I got to get out of here. Yo, free, man. I got to roll. I got to bust some moves. Look, I appreciate y'all. Always. Thank y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed this. And if not, God bless y'all. Yes, once again, rest in peace to Ricky Hitman Hatton, man. I'll be back later on am I scheduled to come back today? Yes, I am. I'm coming back today to talk about Bruce Carrington and Inouye. Coming back to do that. 6:05. So y'all be back to join me, but I gotta rock and roll up out of here, man. Free. I'ma holler at you later. 6:05, man. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to my brother D Free, BVO, and everybody out there that's doing their thing. Catch y'all at 6:05. Y'all know what it is. It's the No Doug Zone podcast. Let's go.